Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Let's see how that comes through now. Alright, hey, here we go. Welcome to the stream. And let's get switched into our game, shall we? Welcome, welcome. Let's make sure this is all working as it should. Oh, yes, there we go. Alright, now I'll have to apologize slightly. My stream setup is slightly shonky. Trying to do everything I can with one monitor, but we'll make the best of it. And okay, give me a second. Let's play with the settings here. The lovely moment where I suddenly discover that now I can't see the chat. Fantastic. But in the meantime, let's at least get you some music in the background and let me know if it is a little bit too loud. One thing you'll notice straight away is, as usual, we're straight into the options setting, just like a true to life video. And I love this because it has a music slider in a way. It's not actually a slider. You just simply left click to make it go up, right click to make it go down. That's all there is to it. Gotta love that. Let's bring that up. Let me know if it's a little too loud. Yeah, functional UI. Okay. Seems to be working there, I think. Sorry, everyone, give me a second. I might just need to play with this. Oh, you're telling me we don't have windowed full screen? There we go. Alrighty, let's just let that sit for a second. I think music will jump that down just a little bit. I saw in there. Let's jump that down. How's that sounding now, everyone? Got myself fixed up so I can actually see the chat. Kelly, am I going to do .hack do you last recode? Yes, I will. I've had a quick look at that coming up, and I think I'll probably have to split that into one video per game. So it's going to take a little bit to get through that. I'm expecting those are going to take quite some time. Beats are nice. Okay, looks like music level's good. Okay, just need to double check what's going on with cursor. Looks like we're okay. Alright, so welcome. This is Red Tether, lovely little game that I've stumbled across and that has been giving me grief for the last week or so as I've been trying to push my way through it. What we've got is a top-down space shooter of sorts, which is combining elements from games such as Just Cause with its tether system, and you'll probably pick up a lot of vibes from games like FTL, Faster Than Light as well. Premise is quite simple. You play as this little ship in the center of the screen here. WASD movement, stabilizers to stop in place. But the core mechanic that we have here is that you can fire a pair of tethers at objects, which will then pull them together. If you want, you can fire just one, hold down the right mouse button, and it pulls you towards it. So you can use a little bit of a slingshot system and basically crash your ship into enemies. So, there's a lot of stuff that can be happening all at once. As people mentioned, the color scheme and the graphics are quite interesting. They've gone for a very stylized approach to it. They've very much got a set color scheme that they're going for, purples, reds, and yellows to highlight key objects and things that you can interact with. I think it works quite well. You say it's really zoomed out, but wait until you see the size of the ships that we're going to be fighting against, honestly. But what I do love is that the sound design is spot on. Hoping you heard those explosions come through just then. I don't know how they've done it, but the sound effects have such a level of depth to them that it is amazing. Just watch these two things come together, collide, and listen. The bass and the depth in those explosions is so good. Yes, explosions in space are not possible, but hey, we're not playing games because we want to be limited by reality. We're here for fun, and explosions in space are fun, so we're gonna have them. Alright, so yes, this game is essentially a roguelike in the same way that FTL is. It's a little bit more limited in terms of the choice that it gives you for each run, but essentially you're going to be fighting through wave after wave of enemies. There are preset stages to go through, but each run can basically steer off into a different direction in terms of which waves you're presented with. So very rare that any two waves are the same. It gives quite a lot of variety, a lot more than I was ever expecting in a game like this. But it also means that sometimes it can feel a little unfair because you've got no control over what you're about to come up against, and your upgrades that you get given in any specific run are also randomized, so it's really luck of the draw, and some of the upgrades that you can get are much more valuable than others. But one thing that I do love though is that the game rewards you for playing well and for progressing further and further. So this is the main tutorial area. There is no main menu screen in this game. This is it. It doesn't go anywhere from there. If you want options menu, it says you just escape, and there it is. So this is your central hub, and from here you can go out and actually start your missions. In the center, these are additional ships that you can unlock, and each of them come with their own special abilities. This one here right in the middle is the first ship that you get access to. Its main perk is that it deals extra damage when you crash into things, and you take less damage from crashing into things as well. The one that I'm using at the moment was a special unlock. It's what I would call a glass cannon. It basically has reduced shield, reduced health, but is able to fire its tethers at a much longer range, which will give you the ability to shoot at things before they can shoot at you. So with a little bit of clever planning, you can get around obstacles quite well. I think that's enough of a preamble. I reckon we should dive into a level so I can show you what this one's all about. And you'll see here on the top right, so far I've made it to wave 46 as my best. There are a total of 50 waves to get through, so I've gotten close to the end, but not quite. And again, here, just enjoy the sound design. Ooh, that reverb. I love it. I love it. It's nice to see that level of polish actually in a game, and this is one of the first ones that I think I've come across that has kind of impressed me. Minimum, the ships have names. Yes, they do. Each of them is individually named, and they come with a little bit of plot and backstory when you unlock them as well, which tell you about the original pilots of the ship, which is quite cool. Yeah, cheating exploitation, the sound is incredible. I love it. So every time you start a round, this is the very first level you get. It's always the same. Essentially gives you one nav beacon to destroy, which is then going to prompt all of the levels start to come in. Yeah, no level 69. I know, disappointing. So we're just going to link these ones together, cause a little bit of an explosion. It'll create little bits of debris as well, which we can then use in battle. Again, the music's going to pick up. Please let me know if it is getting a little bit too loud, if you're struggling to hear things over the top. Alright, so this is one of the Peon class enemies that you'll find. They don't actually fight back. They're more to be used to actually crash into other things. So we're going to go ahead and get started and just destroy this. And while that's happening, a couple little things that I like. You'll see as I move the cursor around, you've got two dash lines at the ends. Those show you the limit of how far your tethers can go. And your actual cursor with those jagged lines represent the number of harpoons that you've got available to fire. You'll see that it slowly decreases as I move through them. Oh, here we go. First enemy for us to deal with. This is one thing that I love about this game. You can either destroy the enemies completely by either crashing into them or smashing them into other things, or if you're clever, you can actually target the little turrets on the outside specifically and tear them off of the enemy ships and then use them as weapons against everything else. Yeah, it's not, you say it's not just another puzzle thingy, Anna, but interesting enough, I find that the gameplay actually has puzzle elements to it, because each of the waves that you come across, it kind of encourages you to think outside the box in terms of how you're going to tackle it. Like I said, there's elements of Just Cause from the destruction perspective of how you're needing to collide things together and basically ruin their day from that perspective, but it also has elements of something like Red Faction, I think it was called, with the environmental physics and destruction. Let's go ahead and rip this one off here. I'm going to attach a couple of to there. You'll see it's dealing damage over time, rips it off, and then blows up the actual ship itself. Let's grab the one on the other side. You'll see because I've picked this particular ship, I can stay just out of range of their firing line, represented by that red laser. Boom. One down. We need to... Yep, there we go. Those ones have retreated. So usually anything that isn't actually arms will retreat at the end of a round. Here we've got a bunch of asteroids and some that have an actual melee attack on it as well, which will try and knock off your tethers. You'll see a little animation there. After a couple of hits, it'll actually break through the tether and destroy it. So you need to get a little bit more creative with how you do it, or just use a ton of tethers will do the trick as well. Let's get rid of those ones. Nice. Now let's see. Oh, there's still one more in the corner up there that has a melee attachment on it. While that's going to show you a little bit of the movement as well, allows you to really get a little bit of speed, and you can circle around objects and basically crash into them as well. Gives you quite a few choices in how you actually want to deal with these enemies. Looks like we need to clear out the rest of these to be able to get onto the next wave. Looking for the OST already. I'll see if I can find it. I did manage to see it's not composed by the devs. They have used some royalty-free music for the game, but I think they've actually picked something quite good. It meshes well with the aesthetic. There we go. One down. We'll do the same with this one over here. So now it's starting to pick up the number of enemies we've got. Oh, there we go. Now you can see the shield mechanic. Those little diamonds that appear around the edge represent your shield. Slowly goes down as you take damage. And in the top left is your actual health. Because of the ship that I've picked, I only have basically 2 hearts before I die. So I really need to avoid damage at all costs. Jesus, 50 viewers already? That's insane. I actually can't see the viewer count, so appreciate you giving me the update there. Alright, beautiful. Those ones are down, and we have been given an upgrade ship. So these appear basically every 4 waves, and they'll give you a selection of randomized upgrades to pick from, but you can only choose one. As soon as you pull one of them off of this ship, it's going to detonate and destroy the rest. So let's see what we've got. Don't really need a heal at the moment, don't need that. Extra tether HP doesn't really help at this stage of the game. Anything that reduces top speed, from my perspective, isn't that useful, because especially later in the game, you get bombarded with things that you need to dodge. So having a decent top speed is going to be helpful. I think here, let's go, yeah, for the healing debris. Took me a bit to figure out what this one is. Essentially, in each wave, there's going to be 2 pieces of golden debris that you can pick up. If you collect, I think it's 10, it'll actually give you an extra heart. So it just gives you a little bit more survivability in the long run. Alright, here we go. Next round. Let's start by getting rid of this guy. Say goodbye to your little turret. Thank you very much. You don't need that. Ah, crap. Yeah, that was going to happen. So, I've actually already taken one hit. I didn't keep up my movement there. That was silly. This is what happens when I try and talk and play at the same time. Not something I normally do, so forgive me if my gameplay is a little worse than normal. But, we got lucky there. That's an extra heart. I'll take that, thank you very much. Get myself patched up. And the game does give the ability to actually increase your maximum health through various upgrades as well. Really just depends on your particular playstyle. God, I actually need to focus on what I'm doing here and stop talking. Oh, what the? Seriously? Alright, alright. I was not paying attention there. Honestly, doing this for the first time is giving me a lot of respect for streamers that are somehow able to keep an eye on exactly what's happening in their chat and focus on high intensity gameplay at the same time. Not an easy task. There we go, that got a good hit there. Boom, that one's gone. Let's grab that lovely little piece of debris. Thank you very much, I'll take that. Okay, now we're starting to get some of the bigger ships with different weapons. These guys can be pretty nasty. Again, we've got a couple of missile systems here. I usually try and get rid of those as the first point of call. Let's just get a little bit of debris attached to that. And if we have a little bit of fun, we could take this ship and actually smash it into the bigger one. So let's just get... There we go. Tethers across to that. Nice. Say goodbye. Beautiful. Let's bring that one in as well. Alright. Now, you'll see that happen a lot. It's absolutely fine for you to take a little bit of damage. In fact, it's going to be necessary in some of the levels to purposely let yourself get hit to your shields so that you can get close enough to actually deal damage to some of the enemies. But you'll see I can just sit right back here, pop a couple of tethers onto that one. There we go. Beautiful. The game is being kind to me today. It knows that I'm playing terribly and giving me a bit of extra health. Thank you very much. I'll take it. You two can collide. Let's grab that one. One left. Come here. You can also see a little bit how the harpoons themselves that you fire for the tethers are affected a bit by your momentum as well, making moving and shooting a little bit trickier sometimes. Alright, so now we've got one small gunship, one large one, and 2 rounds of missiles, so I've got to make sure I keep moving to avoid those. Generally, these ones are fine. As long as you keep up some form of momentum, you're not going to get bothered by them too much. It's only if you actually try and stop. Let's pull that one off. You two can come together. There we go. Let's see. Stasis, yes, the devs do have 2 other games. From what I've seen, apparently not as good as this one. I think they've actually gotten onto something quite special with this game. I don't know what they've done, but there's something to love about this. If you're into roguelites with a little bit of extra challenge, especially I think if you loved games like FTL and the kind of ship combat, but you always thought it would just be nice to have a little bit more control over the ship itself, this is the kind of game that you might like. Amra, why is it not in order? They are in order. We're looking at punctuation first. So we've got about 10 to 15 games to get through before we get to the end of the punctuation, and then we'll be at the first of the numbered games. And that's when it'll start looking a little bit more like proper alphabetical order. But I think in reality, this game is called -- red -- tether -- greater than. I am not calling it in reality. Alright, now we've got a couple of stealth ships over here. These guys are really annoying. Let's just start pulling off their weapons there. You as well, thank you very much. Yeah, that's fine. I can take a little bit of damage there. Let's just keep moving. This one's such a bait and switch, because you would have seen at the start, it's like, oh hey, here, have an upgrade ship, it's so nice, there's nothing else, we're being nice to you because it's the first 10 waves. No, it puts all this stuff over the side just to throw you off. Alright, let's pop a tether on there and there. You two can just come together nicely there. You and you. What I like though is that there are... It incentivizes different play styles depending on the ship that you pick as well. Obviously the one that I've gone with, you need to keep your distance a little bit more, be clever about what things you're knocking together. There are other ships, one in particular, that requires you to not blow up any of the enemy ships, but instead simply remove their ability to fight back and make them retreat. And if you do that enough times, the game actually awards you with additional upgrades, which I think is a really cool way to switch up the playstyle depending on just what you like to do. I never get sick of those explosions. And you would have noticed there as well that this ship has moved. If you get too far away from them for too long, they will actually try and relocate to you, and in some cases actually relocate directly on top of you, dealing instant damage, which is a hell of a pain. Alright, what have I got available here now that everything else is dead? remote reeling is good, but I don't think I want that yet. Let's go for some additional shield. I need a bit more survivability at the moment. Let's grab that one. And we'll grab that too. Oh, never mind, maybe not. There we go. One thing that I'm still trying to get to grips with in this particular game is the movement mechanics with the tether, actually swinging yourself around. Something which becomes really important in the later stages of the game, but it's a double-edged sword because anytime you crash into something, you're going to be risking taking damage, especially on these melee ones. If they hit you, you're stunned for about a second or two, which just... oh, bloody hell, I really should have seen that coming. Alright, let's focus now. One heart left. Alright. You can attach over there. Thank you. You notice as well, the more tethers you attach, the stronger the pull effect is. So if you need something to connect together quite quickly, you've got to use up multiple tethers. There we go. You two can have fun over there. How much is this game? I need to double check from memory. I think it was around $5. Not particularly expensive. And honestly, even if you just do a round or two, I think it's good value for money. Canadian. Okay, one left. There's just not much room to be able to get a double attachment on there. There we go. I don't know, there's something very satisfying about just ripping the armaments off these spaceships. I'll take that. $12.99 on Steam. Okay, a little bit more than I was expecting. But still, even at that rate, I'd happily pay $15, $20 just for how much fun and effort has gone into this particular game. Alright, first of the boss rounds. Nothing too crazy here. Fairly stationary ship, a lot of turrets, a lot of things to smash together. As long as I actually pay attention, this should be fine. So I think I've put just over 20 hours into this game so far. It definitely has a bit of a learning curve to it, but I think it's worth it, to be honest. This is going to be one which I think, unless they do something really dumb at the end of the game, it's going to be a recommendation from me for sure. Oh, that's right, we've got the bloody landmines actually coming out now. Just a little bit of area denial to force you to keep moving. There's actually quite a bit of enemy variety in these games. Go away, don't like you. Yeah, you stay over there. From the single fire turrets to homing missiles, Gauss rifles that try and snipe you from a long range. What else is there? You've got your melee attacking ones. You've got mass, like, sweeping bomb drops that come through. There's a lot of variety, which means that it increases the difficulty at a pretty good pace. It never feels too unfair, unless you happen to get a run with really bad luck on the upgrades. Alright, that one's blown up, nice. Yeah, Beats Gone Wild, the music they use for the boss fights is pretty good. They know how to ramp up the intensity and keep it there. Let's get away from that, thank you. Cool, that one's gone. Let's just bring those two together. There we go, that'll do it. Yeah, the only downside to the OST, because they've not used their own music, is it does have that looping problem that you just heard. So it will die off every now and then before coming right back in. But honestly, I can overlook that. Cool. First one down. Nice and easy. Good to know that I can actually get through that without having to concentrate too hard. Ah, and the other thing here, do you see this little cloud that it's left behind? If you pass through this, it sets on fire. There is elemental stuff in games like these. There's fire, acid, electricity. If you are affected by them, you need to crash into something at high speed, and you'll actually push that onto your enemy and have them impacted by it instead. Let's have a look. So it's given us an extra upgrade here. Ooh, I am going to take the bootleg jump drive. That can save you in some pretty nasty situations. Beautiful. Alright, and we're going to jump in here, and that's then going to take us to the next round of 10 waves. Got a breather for a second. Let's have some tea. Okay, we are straight into the fight here. Let's just get away from you. So now you'll see it's ramped up the intensity, and we're going to get a lot of fire-themed enemies by the look of it in these rounds. Possibly even some acid as well. Honestly, fire I find more annoying than anything else. Let's get rid of these guys first. Oh crap, go away. Okay, eat you, have fun over there. Yeah, good shot there. Alright, so I'm out of tethers at the moment. I've got to wait for something to crash together, or you can remove your tethers manually if you need them in a pinch. I don't know why, but look at this game. Reminds me of a game I used to play. Plays animals in space or something like that. The first one that comes to mind is Star Fox? Not sure if that's what you're talking about. Oh, that was close. Alright, you're annoying. You need to go away. Missed that. Okay, good. That's at least one of them gone. I'll take that. Let's get away from there. And actually, I need to get away from that. So let's move. Yeah, they've gone for a fairly simple art style. Goodbye, Amra. Thanks for stopping by. They've gone for a fairly simplistic art style in this kind of game, but honestly, I think the visuals get the job done. It's got a good level of detail, which gives you some kind of like idea about what the ships would look like, but very, very stylistic. Hello, you don't need that gun. Goodbye. Last one over here. Damn, missed. There we go. Yeah, getting the additional range on your tethers is honestly one of the best upgrades you can get in this game. Alright, what's coming next? Okay, we've got another upgrade one. Ooh, okay. Autocannons are nasty. So this is the upgraded version of the ships we were just looking at. These have a slightly longer range and will actually do tracking area of effect attacks. They're basically impossible to dodge unless you've got enough speed. Okay, that one's gone. Now I can attach these ones here safely, so they can't get a lock on me. That'll do a little bit of extra damage there, not enough to blow it up. We can send a little bit of shrapnel into it if we want. And if we wanted to be extra cheeky, because we've got just enough range and I want to get away from those acid spewing ones, we can swing right through. Let's, you guys together. We can be friends. So that should tear off the little acid turret up there. Nice. And now we can bring the ships together. Yeah, there's definitely a sense of nostalgia to the graphics. When I first saw the color theme, I was reminded of, I think it was a Nintendo product. It was like their first attempt at some kind of like virtual reality, augmented reality thing, which, if I recall correctly, caused problems because it made people have headaches and things like that. Simply because the color code was like, it was red for everything that you were looking at. Can you sacrifice the upgrade ship to do damage? Yes, if you wanted to, you could smash this into the others. What will end up happening is it will choose one of the remaining upgrades and give it to you at random. Don't get to it. Yeah, Virtual Boy, I think that was the one. Gosh, that was a long time back. Okay, what have we got here? Don't need more tethers, I've got more than enough on that. I think we'll take the shield plate, extra max shield and an empty heart container so I can heal myself up a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, weirdly enough, I get fortunate enough, in question marks, to actually have a Virtual Boy as a kid. I think I used it maybe once. I don't even remember what game it was. I want to say it was some kind of boxing game, or it might have actually been a platformer that was in it. I don't remember. Did I not target that? There we go. Virtual Boy had a weird Wario tennis game on it. Possibly. I've got a feeling there might have been a couple of different ones available. I seem to recall seeing footage of some kind of platformer inside that. Okay, let's just keep right away from that. Part of the hive mind, yeah. I'm honestly surprised by how much collective knowledge there is in the comment sections on some of my videos. The information that I've learned about... Oh shoot, that's bad. Information I've learned about game design, RPG Maker, visual novels, and some questionable stuff going on there is actually insane. I'm actually grateful to everyone that's been commenting on the videos, because that extra information is going to help me to improve the quality of my videos for the future as well. This one's going to be a pain. We've got a melee asteroid close to a thing that's doing massive amounts of damage. Just get over... No, thank you. Yes, there we go. Just be friends. What could possibly go wrong? Have some more. Yes. We like explosions. No, don't shoot at me. That's not what we're here for today. We're here for you to die and me to live. Yeah, thank you. You got the message. Alright, I would take that. And that's actually given me a piece of temporary plating on there as well. Yeah, got a Virtual Boy, didn't develop any health problems. I think I was just very fortunate. Game that quit when I hit escape immediately, click team thing. Yeah, I don't know too much about that one. Hopefully we don't encounter too many more games of that level of quality. Cheating, you know a lot about the RPG makers. I've seen one. Oh yeah, the Arcane Raise one. Ooch. Yep, that's what I mean. You stay away for too long, they'll come after you. The Arcane Race one really surprised me. I was not expecting to get so much traction from the RPG Maker community, who, until I made that video, I didn't actually know was a thing, so that was a pleasant surprise. And to everyone that joined as a result of that video, honestly, welcome. Love to have you here. I think that was an interesting video for people because it gave some insight as to just how bad it can really be, but also what you can get away with and still have a game that makes you money. And that to me was the saddest part about that whole thing. Alright, so we've got a couple of extra bombs here we can use. Can I get my tether far enough? I can. Fantastic. Here's a little present for you. There you go, mate. You'll enjoy that. Gosh, I feel bad when I say things like that because I feel like my Aussie accent really starts to shine through. And I have to admit, it is a little bit weird being an Australian in Canada. It's been... Oh, shoot. There we go. That's why I like the jump drive. Gets me out of there in a pinch. Yeah, a little bit weird being an Aussie in Canada. It happened in a recent video. I think there was a couple of comments on the Alamo one. Very weird having everyone mistake me for being British. Greek Aprils, thanks for stopping by. Hopefully see you next time. Just stay over there, thank you very much. Okay. Let's grab that. This is what I mean though when I say like it could be a little bit of a like it's got puzzle elements. Once you know what you're up against, it gives you enough time to plan out how you want to approach any particular enemy. So if I want now, I could just sit back here and just continuously smash back and forward through this, and that will eventually kill it. You actually do a surprising amount of damage. If you get enough speed, around 20 or so is normal, and you can just fling back and forward like this. There we go, ship down. I want to take a moment to stop and check the chat, but with this missile launcher here, it's kind of a bad idea. Alright, let's get rid of you. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Alright. Oh, okay, that's just what you want. The game definitely keeps you on your toes by doing things like that, where it's like some waves, it'll purposely put them at a little bit of a distance from you, and some you'll be instantly surrounded and have to find your way out. And there's a lot of long-range attacks going on here that I am not a fan of. You can say goodbye to that weapon. Oh, you bastard, I didn't think that would still get me at that distance. Oh my god. And this is what I mean, when things go wrong, they go very wrong very quickly. Graeldon breeds confirms. Sorry. Jeez, there is a lot coming at me in this one. Let's get rid of that. You can have a bomb over there. Thank you. I hate those ones with the turrets. And you're going to jump right next to me. Well, at least you don't have a weapon on that side, and I will take that as a win. You can see, like, the game gives you just enough movement speed that you can get out of the way of most dangerous things, but you always feel like you need a little bit more. Let's bring those two together. Let's just enjoy the explosions for a second. I hope you've got speakers good enough to appreciate that bass. Graeldon breeds lifespan estimates improves by 5,000%. You know what? Minimum, I kinda need that if I'm planning on getting through all of the games on Steam. Like, any additional minutes that I can add onto my lifespan, I think are gonna be worth it. Alright, if I can tear that weapon off, perfect. We can actually just smash it into itself, and then I can just sneak around the back of the ship here, and you'll see it doesn't actually flick back 90 degrees, so I can just, you know, grab the weapon from here and tear it off nice and safe. Can't do a thing about it. Will you have enough speed if you use the harpoon to swing around a target? Yes, and in the later stages it becomes necessary. It'll be using a lot more explosions, it'll send out smaller vehicles, smaller spaceships to actually try and hunt you down, and they're indestructible. So you've got to actually dodge them. Okay, this one's been split into a couple of sections. Interesting. I need to get at least one more tether on that to pull it off. That should do it. Beautiful. So let's just pull those two together. We've got a little ship hiding around the back here. I don't think you need your guns. Do you mind if I just borrow those? Thank you. Oh, okay, right. Crap. Alright. Let's pull through that to get rid of the corrosion. Nice. Crisis averted. And that's a bomb. I really should, like, pay more attention, but hey. Okay. Say goodbye to those. And that is one thing I like, is these guys can fire upon each other as well. They're generally resistant to their own damage, but not always. A little bit of salvage there. Should be getting a new piece of health as a result shortly. unknowingly, and one thing I've probably done that's handicapped myself is that I've currently got the chat overlay directly on top of where my health is. So, yeah, it's going to be a bit tricky to judge how we're doing. I think that just means I just have to not take damage. If I don't take damage, I can't lose, and then I'll beat the game. Problem solved. There is just something satisfying about watching everything come together like this. Beautiful. Have another bomb. Oh, you can just bugger off. This is what I mean. You've got them jumping on top of you like that. It makes things just a little difficult. Okay. Let's pull these two together. But yeah, I honestly hope that this game gets a little bit more traction. It doesn't look like it's had much visibility so far, and its mechanics and core gameplay are quite solid, so I think it's just been a little bit unlucky in terms of the visibility that it's had. I think that was the whole reason I wanted to do a series like this. To put a couple more games like this into the spotlight that actually deserve it. There we go, 3 shots on there. Say goodbye to your stupid little cannon. Everyone under your will says, yeah. Honestly, subscriptions, I don't know if you saw it in the terms and conditions, but it is a multi-generational contract. You just have to make sure you inform your loved ones about it. I will be expecting them to stay subscribed and to watch every single video. Not sure what the consequences are if they don't. We'll figure that bit out later. Alright, what's left? See, it's quite nice. It does give you a couple of arrows to show you anything you're missing. As I thought, yeah, it's just the rewards ship that's left over. Let's see. What have we got? Heart damage increases your maximum shield, so if I actually get hurt, that ends up helping. Structural conversion, no, we need to keep the heart drop chance up. Let's play it safe and go for this one. Yeah, you can jump over here, that's fine. You've got no weapons, you can't touch me. I'll just take this and you can bugger off. Okay, now we've got a little bit of everything going on. Let's pull these two together. The other thing you might be able to start telling is that to get through all 50 waves in this is actually quite a time investment. I think I probably had maybe 6 or 7 runs through so far that have got me to wave 46, I think it was, out of 50. Oh, let's just get out of the way of that. Thank you very much. So, yeah, the content that you get here is definitely worth it. Come on. Yes, good. The jump worked. Oh, but he's followed me. You... Cool. Stay over there. You don't need your gun. You as well. So I get the gun off on this side. I'll be able to get close enough to actually tether the 2 ships together. Or it'll just explode. You know, that works too. That's fine. Oh. No. Go away. Now, just for that, have your own bloody landmines back. There and there. Oh, should have seen that coming. Right, another one down. This ship over here is going to be a pain. Let's just be sneaky and get a couple of tethers on that one. Nice. And then the last turret there. Ah, some of those must have missed. That'll do it. Remember to donate your family's life essence as well. Oh gosh. Is this how cults start? I feel like this is how cults start. I don't know if I'm okay with that or not. You guys can decide. If you want a cult, let's start a cult. That's fine. Have to be That's starting to get a little bit touchy there, Kelly. I'm gonna bring some orphans. Like, if they're just being subscribed, that's fine. But let's not make orphans do anything against their will. Come on, I need you to go away so I can actually pick up that upgrade before it accidentally destroys itself. Good. Okay. I got this silly little melee one that's sitting all the way out here doing absolutely nothing. That's better. Let's grab this little piece of debris. That was close. Only got too close to that one. Yeah, so I was pretty sure that's how COD starts, yeah. Oh, okay. So now we've got a little bit more that's being introduced. Those dark-colored asteroids on the sides are actually frozen. Smashing them into a ship will give it a bit of a debuff for a little while that causes it to take a lot more damage. So let's get started on that. Those two can come together. There we go. It's now frail. And we can really do a number on it now. While I'm going through this one, because it did get mentioned at the start of the stream, one thing that I would love for you guys to start having a bit of a think about is, first of all, how do you feel about channel memberships? They're not something that I've ever particularly subscribed to on channels on YouTube, but if it's something that you guys would be interested in having available to support the channel, I'd be down to set that up. If we do go down that route, I'm thinking... And honestly, a lot of inspiration from JoshStrifeHayes for this one, but I would want to do a credits call out for anyone that subscribes. But one thing I came to mind, something a little bit of fun, would be to have a higher reward tier where rather than having an unnamed character be named Larry, you actually get it named after yourself. I think that could be something quite fun for the channel, so we'd love to know your thoughts on that. If it sounds interesting, we can put up a poll about it on the YouTube channel later. I mostly just want to know what you would want as rewards if you actually want channel membership. Because I know some people, it can be a bit off-putting to have something like that. And I wouldn't want to include anything as a benefit that allows you to view content or lock content away from everyone else. I always want my videos to be freely available for people. Pink says, yeah, that'd be cool, still that's cool. Yeah, okay. I assume you're talking about the naming side of things. Oh, we've got a black box. Hello. This is how you actually get a little bit of lore about the game. So these homing missiles are quite fun because you can definitely just use them against the enemy. Yeah, it sounds more like a Patreon thing than a membership thing. I still need to learn a little bit more about how YouTube membership works, because to me they just sound like Patreon membership, but within the YouTube platform. Oh, Dest, thank you. I really appreciate that. I do want everyone to know as well, like, if you want donation, like if you want to make a donation, you are absolutely more than welcome to, but I am not going to ask for donations. I will never say no to one, and I will gladly accept them. I appreciate it. Obviously, don't spend more than you're financially able to, but yeah, I'm never going to ask for donations. I'm lucky to be in a place where the channel can be self-sufficient as it is, and I think that's the most important thing to have. Okay, now we've got one of the big ships here. Oh, bye Agor, thanks for stopping by. Okay, you'll see these... Oh, nope, never mind. Every time I start talking, the game seems to know, and it's like, hey, you seem distracted. Have another ship right in your face. Hey Snowy, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I'm not normally one to live stream. I don't even normally watch streams, but can be quite fun by the look of it. I'm enjoying this. I hope you guys are as well. You can have that one back. Thank you very much. I do not need your homing missile. What I do need is for you to blow up. I don't think you need that gun. I'll take that off you. Thank you very much. Beautiful. I love that those larger explosions will actually push your ship backwards from the force of it. It's such a little touch that did not need to be in the game, but I'm so glad that it is there because it just makes it, and I hate having to use the word, but it makes it feel that much more immersive. Yep, there you go. Have a bomb. You can have that one. Ooh, that missed. Oh, how nice of you to teleport directly on top of a landmine. Love it when that happens. Actually, I'll keep an extra tether because I think there might be... Yeah, there's another turret still down this way. Oh, minimum. It's 2 AM. Where, if you don't mind me asking, where are you from? Noticed on the channel that we seem to have people from a whole range of countries. And I am absolutely willing to run streams at a different time if it would be more convenient for people. $2 PM but have a really bad sleep schedule. Yeah, I get that. Don't worry. I struggled to sleep last night because I was definitely more than a little bit nervous about live streaming today. Alright, what's left? It should be pretty much everything. What did I miss? You're not trying to tell me that this asteroid? No. Ah, there's another ship all the way up here. Alright, alright. Let's get rid of him. Oh, someone from Thailand. Jeez. Welcome, welcome. Figured we'd have a few people from all across America and Canada. That's where most of my content seems to go. Okay. I need to focus now. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. Jeez. This one goes hard. Alright, what do we got? He's got a ridiculously long-range weapon. And he's got bulk missiles on top of that. So we're going to get close and we're going to hope that our shield holds out or it jumps us away at the last second. Oh, okay, that's very bad. Might take some damage here. Come on, shields. Yes, got just enough back to survive that. Right. Oh. See, it tries to be nice and goes, here, have an upgrade. Look, yeah, no, I have not got time to stop and look at that. Okay. Let's fling that over there. Oh, okay, good. Got saved by the jump drive there. Or maybe not, never mind. Jeez. Okay. That is why we need to get rid of those missile launchers. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and run. Are you serious right now? This game is evil. Okay. Have I managed to get rid of any of the missiles? I have not. Because he teleported, which breaks the tethers. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. Right, one down. That's going to make this just a little bit more survivable. At least with him teleporting close, that gives me a chance to lay into him a little bit. Good, second one gone. Now I've got a chance of actually being able to beat this guy. Yes, I'm going to charge straight into this bastard. So I can lay on a couple of harpoons on the other side. And this is what I mean by, like, the movement mechanics are tricky to master, but actually necessary. Alright, let's go again. Yeah, you reload. Enjoy some tethers. Beautiful. can breathe for a second. So, he's now completely defenseless, and we could just do whatever we want to actually... You... Seriously? You're still going to teleport around at that close range? This one is actually evil. Yeah, stasis. This is why I couldn't get past wave 46. It is brutally difficult. And this is actually one of the slightly easier fights. So I can also just lay on tethers like that, and you'll see that's doing a little bit of just... Seriously? Jump right on top of me. There was no warning for that. Fine. Let's just do this then. If that's how you want to play. We can both play at the movement game. Although I'm not particularly good at it. Okay. Yeah, see, you get like a second's worth of warning to be able to get out of the way of that. Come on, it's nearly dead. Get back around there. Couple more, and boom. Oh, let's just stay away from that. Okay, so I guess it needs me to take out the last couple of little enemies before we can call this wave a scratch. Yeah, roguelites are the ones where you unlock stuff in between runs. This one, I'd say it's closer to a rogue... where'd you get it? A rogue-like rather than a roguelite. Simply because the upgrades that you get aren't permanent. It just affects the particular ship that you're using. Alright, let's see what upgrade we want to get. Up and crit chance reveals stealth. Not actually that useful. Heal a heart. Divert missiles and mines. That could be quite good. Or, oh, actually, let's go... Nah, we're gonna go for the diversion. Gotta play defensively when you've got as little health as I do. Alright, that should be the end. Yes, there we go. Hey, I got an unlock for that. First time I think I've actually killed that boss, so there we go. This is kind of how the unlock progression system works. That has basically made it so that there is a new upgrade that will appear in future runs. So it doesn't help me right now, but it means that I've got some more powerful upgrades to use in the future. And this is part of why, yeah, this game has taken so long to beat, is because it's really incremental progression. And the only way to get these unlocks is by doing what they call a flawless run. You basically need to be able to beat all 10 waves and the boss without taking damage. Absolutely ridiculous. But it has been nice and given me one more lot of upgrades. I am... Oh, okay, yeah, no, I'm going to take the extra heart here. When do I think I'm going to reach the alphanumeric characters? So we're about... I can do a proper count later, but I think it's roughly between 10 and 15 games away from actually hitting the first numbered games. So we should actually be there before the end of the year. And to kind of put it in context, in the latest sale, I have bought all of the games between here and the numbered ones. So yeah, we're moving towards the end of the punctuation. Alright. Okay, that was what, wave 20? Or have I miscounted? Oh shoot, we need to move right away. This is really freaking bad. Okay. Yeah, I think this is the start of the getting into wave 30. So, in this one we're going to be dealing with a bit of ice and a bit of electricity because, you know, this game wasn't hard enough already. New types of enemy ships, new types of enemy weapons, homing things, electrical weapons that can just disable your ship completely, ice weapons that can temporarily disable your shields. Snowy, when I say all games, do I also mean the weird and NSO? Weird, yes. Not safe for work, no. Part of my series rules is I'm not reviewing any 18 plus games. So that's why the visual novels were a little bit of a joke, because, well, they technically would be adult games, but they had all the adult content removed. Oh, I think someone just left. I didn't catch your name, but thank you for stopping by. Plan at the moment, by the way, for everyone, is we're going to go and see how far we can get in this current run. And if we manage to beat it, might move on to the next game. If not, we'll see what you guys feel like. Might do a second run, might call it there for the day so I can focus a little more on actually progressing through. But I realistically wanted to do this stream just to show you what we're playing through at the moment, because there's some interesting stuff here. And also because this video is taking a little bit longer, I wanted to make sure there was still some kind of content for you to enjoy. Goodbye, torpedoes. Annoyingly, I wanted to use that ship, and now it's gone. I have to do this the hard way. Oh, I messed that up big time. Whew. How's your first experience with streaming on the channel? I am enjoying it. I hope everyone else is as well. It's definitely going to take me some practice to get used to narrating and focusing on this kind of gameplay at the same time. It's using a lot more brain power than I think I would normally use on a typical Saturday morning. But I'm here for it. At the end of the day, I made this channel and the content for people like yourselves to enjoy, not for myself. Okay, you guys are annoying. You have to fire off your shots in pairs here, otherwise the electricity actually travels through the tether and will hurt you. You may have noticed as well, the music has switched up now. When you get into the later sets of waves, you actually get new music tracks to go along with it, which I think is a nice little touch. Stops it from getting too samey. Ooh, that was close. There we go. That should do it for that one. Say goodbye to your weapon. You've got one cannon left. Heh, dodged all that. Nice. And just get one more on there for good luck. Beautiful. Ah, thanks, Snowy. Yeah, I do my best to take care of myself. Thankfully, I have a high tolerance for BS. It's definitely coming handy for this kind of series. Let's just connect those. Ooh. Alright, so this one in the middle here, he's the one that's generating all the landmines, so we need to get those two connected. But I've attached the weapon, not the ship itself. Better than nothing, but it's not going to do what I want it. You see, that landmine appeared like almost directly on top of me. You can get out of here with that nonsense. You're the one firing the missiles, so let's get one tether on there. They are chasing me down now. You can see it starts off nice and easy, but by the time you get into these later stages, it gets pretty mental. My first few attempts, I think I got through to about this point, where I had to deal with the electricity for the first time. It doesn't tell you what to do with it. It doesn't tell you how to get rid of it, how to negate it, how it works. You've got to figure it out through trial and error, and you know what? I think it works, because roguelike games are all about discovering new enemies and figuring out how to exploit their weaknesses. So in a game like this, I actually don't have a problem with that approach to introducing new mechanics. Yeah, Red Tether is the name of the game. And it's definitely one that I'm glad to have discovered, although this may end up being the first game in the series that I'm simply just not able to beat. We'll see though. Giving myself a little bit of extra time, and as long as I pay attention, miracles might happen on this stream, who knows. Oh, you're still alive, that's why. Okay. You can enjoy some extra debris. need to get out of here with your stupid electric wave guns. So they're just keeping up a good distance and a decent bit of speed. You can dodge most of the weapons in these games. In this game, sorry. Yeah, you can have that one. Over there. Let's bring that together. I will take that little bit of debris for myself. Thank you very much. Oh, get out of here with your landmines. Oh. Are they landmines if they're in space? That doesn't feel right. It's just a mine, isn't it? Oh, sweet! That was close. If they land on top of you, it's instant damage. Hang on, I'm going to pause for a second so I can see this question that's come through. Looking forward to a game called Crystal Project. Brilliant game. Haven't heard about that. Would love to know more about it. Am I also going to be playing really popular games like Among Us when you get some, or I skip over them and favour the more hidden games? I am going to play everything that is in the game list on Steam. If it is there, I am going to play it. There is no way around it. How much of it am I going to play? Well, the purpose of my series is to simply see the end of it. So, realistically, for something like Among Us, I would only need to play one round. And then I've seen basically everything the game has to offer. Maybe if I want to be a little bit more thorough, I'd have a look at each individual map. Maybe I'd go to the lengths of winning a round. But yeah, for those kind of games, especially the multiplayer focused ones, they're probably going to be quite short reviews because the purpose is just to see everything that the game has to offer. Yeah, all of them except the 18 plus ones. And I'm not going to be looking at MMORPGs. They're simply too large in scale and scope to be able to cover in a platform like this. And I also don't want to tread on the name of someone who I look up to quite a lot in the YouTube realm, who is JoshStrifeHayes. If you've seen anything on his channel, you'll know that I've taken a lot of inspiration from the way he does things and his approach to it, but that's because I agree with a lot of what he does. I just want to put my own spin on it and do my own thing. So MMORPGs are definitely out of it. How does the alphabetical thing work? We're in the punctuation section. So we've got to go through everything that starts with punctuation first, then the numbers, and then we'll hit the letter A. So while this one is technically called red tether, it's actually -- red tether. So yeah, we've got to get through all that first. It's a common question though. I have tried to put that in as many places as I can. I did originally have those kind of explanations in my intros to videos, but I found that it was simply too long. People were dropping out before they actually got through the intro, so I had to shorten it. If you go back and look at some of my older videos, you will see that I've had to adapt and tweak. I was paying attention to the retention rates on a lot of the content, so wanted to make sure that it was short and snappy and interesting to watch. No one wants to sit through like a 2-minute explanation of a series that they've never heard about or seen before. Excited for the West and Shadows of Loathing games. I've heard of Shadow of Loathing games before, I think. I want to say that I played one of them many, many years ago. So yeah, Josh is great. Josh is wonderful. If you haven't heard of JoshStrifeHayes, please go and check out his channel. He's amazing. Genuinely nice guy who genuinely cares about his audience and the content that he produces. Was watching one of his videos last night actually while I was kind of psyching myself up for this stream, and one thing that I love that he does is he's got his Patreon set up in such a way that, again, there's no particular benefits for subscribing to it other than to support him and the channel itself, and all you get is your name in the credits. That's kind of it. And because of the support that he's gotten through that, he has been able to actually reject like branding offers, you know, all those gamers that you see going, oh, and now today's sponsor, you know, bloody Raid Shadow Legends or whatever the latest mobile game is. I want to be able to treat my channel in a similar way. I don't want to take sponsors if I can help it. I think the only time I will take a sponsor is if it is literally something that I'm going to be reviewing anyway, and it's the appropriate time for it, which I think is going to be highly unlikely. Maybe one day I'll have a developer reach out and be like, hey, my game is going to be coming up shortly on your channel. Would love to be able to provide you with a free code or something like that. That would be amazing. But yeah, odds of that happening, pretty low, let's be honest. Alright, what's going on here? Yeah, a couple of bits I've done have reminded me of Josh's stuff. I don't want to imitate him. I'm not trying to encroach on his territory. I just think he's done some really good ideas that are worth more people doing. Alright, let's focus on actually getting through this level, because these last couple of melee guys are just a pain in the butt. No, I didn't want to connect that debris together. I want to connect that together. Imagine if Raid Shadow Legends got on Steam. You say things like that is going to increase the chance of it happening. Like, don't tempt fate. I would be curious to know if Steam has actually already been approached by companies like that. There are mobile games on Steam that have cross-platform. I'm sure it's only a matter of time. Raid Shadow Legends has been around long enough. Yeah, paid Shadow Legends. Absolutely. There's a couple of content creators that I watch that I will happily sit through one of their sponsors segments simply because they know how to do it in the right way. But most of them, it's an instant skip as soon as I see that. Bias is a concern. Comics, I think you might have had a previous comment that I missed. Tell me a little bit more what you mean by that. Bias is a concern. I definitely don't plan on treating particular reviewers favorably simply because they provided me with a copy of their game. If I were to accept any kind of offer like that, it would be under the condition that I'm able to share my honest thoughts. I've seen a couple of them happen like that. JoshStrifeHayes was one, The Lazy Peon was another. He's done a couple of reviews where the only reason he took it on was because he was allowed to share his unedited, unbiased thoughts. It'd be the same for me. If Raid shows up on Steam, that means you're going to have to... Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Mobile games, especially those kind of ones, take so long to get through, and I would have to play through the entire, like, main campaign, and look, I've played my fair share of mobile games. They're all rubbish. Like, there's one or two good ones out there that might tell a good story, but they are few and far between, and they're definitely not Raid Shadow Legends. Raid is technically not an MMO. It has PvP elements to it, but it's not an MMO. It has a completely offline game mode, so... Look, there could be an argument to be made for it, but I think it'd be stretching the definition. Although I would love if people convinced us that, yes, Raid Shadow Legends is an MMO. It means JoshStrifeHayes would have to review it, and I think that'd be kind of funny. I'd love to see him tear into that. See, these stealth ones, you might laugh at the fact that it's just a darker outline, but I honestly did not see them there. I thought I'd finish this wave. Let's get away from that. Mobile games have gotten worse over time. I absolutely agree they have, and it's because game development companies have gotten better and better at figuring out ways to monetize their products while delivering on a minimal experience. That's realistically all it comes down to. There's a lot of, let's face it, greedy companies out there who simply go, hey, you're a consumer, let's see how much money we can get from you. And that's where, when games like this come across, that are basically the opposite, I want to support them. I want to bring attention to games and devs like this, which actually kind of have the player's interest at heart. Okay, you guys can just bugger off out of here with all of that nonsense. Especially, well, let's see if we can attach these two together. That could be fun. Okay, he's electrified. Need to be careful there. Still have to finish that other lamp. Oh, watch the Other Land playthrough. That was actually the videos of his that got me into his channel. Oh, shoot, hang on, hold that thought. Let's just deal with these little guys first. This is what I meant. Now we're starting to get some other smaller combat ships coming out. They only have melee attacks, but they're a pain in the butt. Okay. Yeah, the Other Land videos were what got me into JoshStrifeHayes. I watched the entire series. 100% recommend it if you've got some time, and if exploring obscure dead games interests you, you will love it. Hatred for Gutcha's love for yeah. Played my share of Gutcha games. I can see how they get the traction they do, but not for me. They hold my attention for a couple of days and that's about it. I think it's interesting that this channel has found quite a few like-minded people in that regard. There's, you know, people who are just curious about what's in the depths of Steam, or people who just kind of enjoy watching other people suffer. That's cool too. I'm happy to be that person. Right, a little bit of breathing room now. Let's grab some upgrades. I've actually been quite generous with these ones so far. I've got 2 pieces of extra shield. If I get 1 more, that'll actually turn into a new heart. Want to be here for all 120 hours of P5R is Persona, right? Persona 5. I've not played that game. I want to play that game. And if I'm being perfectly honest, this series is partially just an excuse for me to play games that I haven't played before and have been meaning to get to for a long time. Right, what have I got to pick from here? Harpoon Recall, 2 hearts, 3 hearts, but doesn't give improv armor, so that's useless to me. Or additional max tethers with a cooldown. I don't want extra cooldown, I've got more than enough tethers. Let's take the Trick Needle. I haven't really used this one. Spin-off series, playing games in reverse alphabetical order. Look, you know what? If someone wanted to start that, I would not stop. Oh, that's bad. I would not stop them. Because the odds of us overlapping our content are infinitesimally small. Like, it's just not going to happen. What I'm going to do and have to cover Among Us. We spoke about that one earlier, actually, Scug. We'll cover it, but it'll probably be quite brief, because at the end of the day, it's just about getting to the end of the game, and that will only take a couple of matches. Alright, lots of chaos we can cause here. I like these kind of levels where everything's nicely spaced together. And let's bring this nice, big, flammable ship right across into the one that's laying down all the mines. Pino, we're thinking of going through your 300 or so games in the Steam library. Yeah, that's where the idea for the series started. I had a huge number of games that I'd picked up. I'll say huge, I've only got like less than 200 games in my Steam library at the moment. But I had quite a few games in the series, in the Steam library that I'd never gotten around to playing, and I thought to myself, look, before I buy any new ones, let's just finish the ones I've currently got. But I didn't know where to start. So I started by going through them in alphabetical order, and found it to be quite a fun experience. And it was based on that I went, well, you know, if I'm having fun doing this, why don't we kick this up a notch and play through as many as possible, not just what's interesting to me, but what else is out there, because let's face it, most of us know about the games that are already mainstream. That's why they're mainstream. You have to be living under a rock to not have heard of them. But games like this, I never would have found this were it not for this series. And you know what? I'm having fun. Turn it up a notch, takes on the whole army. Yeah, I do things in extremes, apparently. Wasn't my intent, but hey, here we are. But honestly, it was just that moment of one night thinking to myself, what would make for an entertaining series to watch? Honestly, I think this is it. This is the kind of content that I'd been looking at, well, looking for for the longest time. And it took me a couple of years of trying to convince myself that, well, if no one else is going to make it, why shouldn't I? I'd give it a go. And I always knew that my first handfuls of videos... Ooh, I got EMP'd there. First handful of videos were going to be pretty atrocious. And you know what? I think they're okay, but you got to start somewhere in the creative process. Am I aware that there's numbers after the punctuation? Yes. We've got a lot of numbered ones to get through. In fact, I did a quick estimate of what's in there, and honestly, it's kind of funny. There's probably about 5 years worth of numbered games to get through. So that's why I put on my channel saying that if I ever reach the A section of the Steam store, it's one hell of an achievement. And I think it's going to be interesting to see what the channel looks like if we ever get there. I love this hot sauce. Better kick it up and eat all the peppers ever. You know what? Funnily enough, I don't think that's an original thought. There's probably someone out there that's done that. Alright, let's just dodge out of the way of that. Alright, sorry. I just have to pause for a second. I hope you appreciated that. That was bloody beautiful. It's moments like that that make me fall in love with this game. Hope I'm able to use the recording from this later. Do I think I'll ever make a Discord server? Potentially, yes. I think if there's enough demand for it, I'm happy to look into that. I might need some assistance with it. I've got no idea how to properly set up a Discord server, but I'm sure there's plenty of tutorials out there I could watch to figure out how to do it properly. But yeah, if people are looking for a community to talk about obscure and games like this, or just about the channel in general, then I will be happy to have something like that. Okay, that was a bit too close for my liking. Yeah, Chimmy, I think the channel will be fun to actually look through once there's been a couple of years worth of content. Holy crap, this one is not letting up. And that was part of what led me to want to do it in this way, with having like proper full-on reviews rather than just like let's plays or anything like that. I wanted this content to be evergreen. So at any point in the future, people could look at it and it will still be relevant unless the game has gone through massive amounts of updates since I reviewed it. The most watched and most successful channels on YouTube have evergreen content. It's just the best way to have a long-running, successful channel. And to kind of get the most interest as well. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not in this for the money. I'm doing it for fun. But if I wanted to have something that was getting exposure and people actually being able to see it, then it was the right way to do it. First thing you do is disable pinging everyone for the role. Yeah, fair enough. No one likes being spammed with notifications. That was one of the first things I had to do in my workplace. It's like, no, I don't need to be notified every single time you send me something. Go away with that nonsense. And you can go away with that nonsense. Ugh. Okay. Sneak around the back of that one and just pull that turret off. I don't know what Sprite is, but if someone is saying that it's a tool, then yeah, it won't be reviewed. Tools do not count for the series. And anything that has labeled itself incorrectly in the Steam store, it's a tool, but it's listed under games. Look, I'll open it up, I'll have a look, and if it is not actually a game, then it won't appear on the channel. Simple as that. By the way, I'm very curious at the moment just because I can't see the numbers, but I would love to know if someone can pop in the chat how many people are hanging out right now. And I hope you're all having a good time. saw someone just mention something about VTube stuff as well. This is something that I've been considering, and I'm still not quite sure what the path I want to go down is. Might look into getting myself set up with a proper camera for doing live streaming and things like that. 42 viewers, awesome, welcome, hello everyone. That is about 40 more than I was expecting. I'll take that. I'll call this stream a success just based on that. I think it was up at about 50 at one point, but that's, you know, like after an hour in, you guys are still here. Thanks. That means a lot to me. Yeah, thinking about getting a camera for doing streams in the future. Think it would be nice to show my face eventually. I was planning on doing it, oh my god, look at all this, when I got to 10,000 subscribers, but I was expecting that to take, you know, a couple of years at least, not 6 months. So I'm either going to look into doing a camera. I've thought about doing the VTuber route, but I don't know, I don't think it fits with the channel. I know some people are kind of very, not so much anti that, but it's just not their jam. Would love to know what you guys' thoughts are about that. Ooh, okay, you can just stay far, far away from me, thank you very much. Glad I picked up that upgrade that allows me to deflect them. Goodbye. And goodbye. No, goodbye, there we go. See, this is what I mean, like, it can spawn things on top of you, which just feels a little unfair sometimes. Off you go. I just want to pick up this little piece of yellow debris. I said, really, that's how we're doing things. Okay. Whatever, it worked. Alright, hang on. I had asked a question. I need to see the replies. What's coming through on here? Clank says camera would be better in your opinion. Zero, down to see another YouTuber, but biased. You're a VTuber, Zero. Hello, welcome. Honestly, it amazes me to have other content creators coming along and checking out the channel. That's wild to me. VTuber stuff might be suited only to streams. Could do a talk sprite. Oh no, hang on. I think I may have messed something up here. Give me a second. That's meant to be in there, and let me just check OBS. That is meant to be on screen. Hey! I think I had that off by accident. Can you see my logo, my little profile pic on screen now? I think I'd forgotten to turn that on this morning. My bad. Just be comfortable if you're happy. Yeah, thank you for the kind words there, Snowy. At the end of the day, I just want everyone to have a good time and have some fun. As an artist, I would like a way to make fan art of something just because I can. Honestly, that would be a dream come true for me. Yeah, the profile pic was meant to be on. That was one thing that I played around with last night, looked up a couple of tutorials and managed to figure out how to get it to be voice reactive. Profile picture is Link from The Legend of Zelda. Nice little bit of fan art. I've been using it as my profile pic for many years. Sorry, having a little break just to give myself a chance to get my breath back, have something to drink. My poor cup of tea that I made at the start of the stream is now horrifically cold. What a shame. Oh well, these things happen. All in the name of content. But yeah, I figured having the profile pic... No, I didn't draw the profile pic. This has been taken from elsewhere. Funnily enough, I think the first time I saw this, and that made me want to use it for something, it was used as the, like, just background image in a 2 Steps from Hell video on YouTube. Yeah, getting my own logo or so instead of using the link might help me stand better. Yeah, it's something that's been on my mind. I would love to be able to go down that path. The problem is that I have zero artistic talent when it comes to actually drawing or creating anything. Video editing? Yeah, I think I'm starting to get the handle on that. I think things are starting to turn out well, I was going to say quite well. I don't think that's true. I think they're turning out better. I don't think my editing skills are good enough to be classified as good just yet. I've got a little ways to go. Soupy Ferret, honestly, I would love that, because yeah, I cannot draw, can't do anything like that. It's just never been something that I can do. So when I was putting together the channel, I just had to kind of use what I had available, but I would love to be able to have something a little bit more personalized in the future. You say payment isn't needed? I would be more than happy to give you something, mate, because that would mean the world to me. And yes, I do listen to Two Steps from Hell. Pop on it every now and again. My Spotify music playlist is wild. A lot of variation I listen to, but Two Steps from Hell, I've been listening to them for about, I want to say 10 to 15 years. Found them way back when, through various bits and pieces. I have heard that they've actually been doing live concerts, and I would love to be able to get along to one of them. Team logo designing stream, one of those multiplayer drawing websites. That could be interesting. I feel like it might have the potential to go very, very wrong in an NSFW direction, but I don't know. I think you guys as a community seem to be pretty chill, except, well, yeah, I think as a community, what I've seen so far, you guys are very level-headed, very chill, very, very much people I'm happy to hang out with. There's been a few interesting ones popping up their heads through the Remember the Alamo video that's been gaining traction recently, but the majority of those people haven't been subscribing to the channel. They've just been here to watch one video and then they've disappeared again, and you know what? That is absolutely fine by me. The Graeldon community. Yeah, that's the other thing, Clank, that's been on my mind. Do I actually need to come up with some kind of community name? Don't know. Don't know. Do I have an idea about what I would want as a logo? Honestly, I think just a stylistic portrait of some kind. So obviously that won't be possible until I get myself a proper camera set up. The Graeldon. Yeah. Nice, like it. Although, Dom has other implications. Got to be wary with that. So I'm going to change it there, it's alright. The Graeldon cult community. I probably want to avoid anything with those kind of implications. The Graeldon slaves. No. If you want to be the Graeldon... Actually, no. I need some time to think about that one to come up with something creative, or I can very happily leave that up to you guys. I'm also very happy just leaving it up as just the community. Totally fine by me. I have no idea how big this channel is going to end up. If it's possible, I would love to be able to do this as a full-time thing in the future. Because at the moment I'm trying to balance doing this and full-time work, 40 plus hours per week. So it's definitely been a bit intense trying to keep up the pace, but don't worry, I'm making sure I don't burn out or anything. That's why I wanted to take my time with this one. Graeldonians, not bad. Grey Lords, careful with that one. That's a little too close to something else. Graeldon makes me think of the name of a king or country. I think I saw someone else saying that. The Holy Grail! Amazing, love the pun. I am here for a good pun or a good dad joke. Like, that is my sense of humor to a T. Yeah, making sure I take time for myself. Don't worry. Usually I do all my like recording and editing and things in the evenings, trying to make sure that I give myself time to actually play games that I want to play as well. The Holy Knight of Graeldon protecting the Holy Grail. Yeah, I like that. The Holy Knight as in being like the buffer between the community and the garbage games. I can see that. Alright, last couple of questions before we get back into the gameplay. What will I do if I get to some of the sandbox games with no inherent purpose, like some vehicle builders or Gary's mod? Great question. I think that's going to be a case-by-case basis, but the general intent is to simply see what the game has to offer. I'd probably check out some community-created content to see what's out there, just to see what it's capable of, so I can review the game from that perspective of just, you know, how much creativity it allows and the depth of the game. I may, in some cases, set an artificial goal of creating something or reaching some kind of artificial endpoint. But yeah, those games have always been a bit of a concern to me because they're games with no end. So yeah, it's going to have some kind of artificial endpoint. Thanks, Super. Yeah, feel free, go ahead, and you're welcome out to reach out to me on any platform. Add me on Steam or wherever you can find me. I'll happily have a chat with you back and forth, see what we come up with. Someone else mentioned an idea about like the A to Z being combined. I don't mind that, but I feel like it has been done a little bit as well by other channels, so I'm just a bit cautious with it. Will I also play known games? Yes, I will be playing known games, and I will be playing them in the order they are listed in Steam. So the biggest one that comes to mind that is coming up in like, I don't know, 10 years is Assassin's Creed. And that one, well, for that series, I honestly haven't looked far enough ahead to see what order they're in, but I believe because of the naming conventions, they are not in the order that they were released in. So it's going to be very interesting going back and forward between some of the more modern and some of the slightly older games. But I think that's going to make it entertaining to be able to see, you know, okay, what they got right previously compared to what they did wrong, and compare and contrast from that view. A 1 million ruble game. Ridiculous price for Russia and China, normal price for other regions. Yeah, sometimes the regional pricing is all over the place. The one which I commented on a previous video about this because someone asked, but there is a game on Steam that retails for around $2,000 to $2,500, and it's absolutely ridiculous. That one is probably going to get a hard pass, to be honest. It is pure cult indoctrination in video game format, and it boggles my mind that it is still on Steam. Feel free just to Google it if someone wants to find the name, if no one knows off the top of their head. But yeah, there is a game that costs over $2,000 on Steam. It's wild. Train Simulation, all the DLCs, yeah, I think that's the one that I saw that has hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of DLC. That would be the kind of one where, again, I'll be looking at the DLC to see, does it add new content? And if it doesn't, if it's merely skins, for example, I'm not going to bother looking at it. If it's new content that actively adds new mechanics, new gameplay, that will get looked at, but not anything else. Anna, you watched some of the gameplay of this and it's bad. Gameplay of what? Red Tether or something else? Yeah, $2,500. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous how expensive it is. All right, cool. I've had a moment to rest and chat with you guys. Let's see if we can finish up this wave we're on. Let's get back into it. I hope you support your video reviews. Actually, honestly, Kazma, the monetization of the channel has now, I believe, already paid off the expenses that I've had for the games I've had to purchase so far, which blows my mind. I was really not expecting that. I was thinking I would be in the red for quite some time, but I was happy to do that for the sake of the content and for the channel. So yeah, being in this position, honestly, I feel incredibly privileged to be able to do this, and honestly, it just motivates me further to do the right thing and produce the best content that I can for the channel. All right, on that note, let's actually get in some content. Let's get back to it. Okay, so we've got this bloody mine-laying thing up the back here that we need to get rid of, because he is just going to stop us from being able to do anything, and this guy needs to go as well. See if you can just join up there, that'll be fine. Oop, off you go. Yeah, Recursive, funnily enough, that controversial game, Remember the Alamo, that has picked up traction and has brought in quite a lot of new viewers and subscribers. Funnily enough, though, they're not the kind of subscribers that I realistically always want for the channel. Some of them are. Some of them, they can go back to wherever they came from, to be honest. Don't need that kind of commentary. And I've been having to spend quite a bit of time monitoring the comments on those videos just to make sure I'm doing the right thing by the community, because some of the stuff that was being said just was simply not appropriate. But the interesting part is, even with the extra attention that that video has received, it actually hasn't got as much attention as the Arcane Raves video, which is pleasantly surprising to me, because that's the kind of video that I want getting attention. You're a little too close for comfort. Go away. Yep, you stay over there. Yeah, and to me, for the Arcane Raves video, I am much happier with the quality of the video produced, even though I made a few mistakes in that one. Again, like, if you've spotted the comments on it, you would have seen things like, you know, I overlooked the naming of Aurum being Latin and the names of the characters also being Latin, so there was a bit more of a link there than I originally thought. I still think Aurum is a bad name for a currency, especially for, you know, a game that is set in an afterlife that has no use for a gold-based currency, but that's just me. I'm happy to admit that as an oversight, and it's that kind of stuff that is going to help me do my research better, pay more attention for future videos. But just in terms of the pacing of that video, I was much happier with how it turned out. I think it was quite an interesting one to watch. Same as the latest ones with the visual novels and Reflected. I think they're just fun to watch, and that's the kind of content I want to be making. Should be interesting, should be fun. It came from the Alamo because it was too baffling to skip. Yeah, honestly, I kind of... No, I was going to say I kind of wish I'd been able to live stream that one, but I think that may have actually gotten me banned. But I wish I would have been able to capture my live reactions to it, because I think I was just sitting there with my mouth open for the longest time in shock that that was actually a real game. Rip damage, pull force, extra heart. Doing okay for health at the moment. Oh yeah, and we're over 28. We're getting close to another boss fight. Cool. Let's take a little bit of extra shield and the collision damage, because I'm going to need that collision damage soon. Oh, Kelly, you saw Arcane Race first and then binged the rest of the channel. Honestly, that to me is the highest compliment that anyone could pay. And I love seeing people go through, because, you know, YouTube Studio in the back end, I can see the comments that people are making, obviously, and it's so, I'm not sure what the right word is for it, heartwarming to me, I guess, to see people leaving comments on each of the videos that they go through, because it's telling me that they are enjoying the content enough that they're wanting to watch more of it. And it's that kind of stuff that inspires me to keep going with this as a channel. Ooh, that was a little close. You can get out of here with your bloody ice shots. They've got so much range on them. Goodbye. Alamo looked weirdly competent for how bad it was. Trust me, it was not competent. Again, I feel like I could have explained things better in the video when it came to like the game mechanics, but as a game trying to deliver any kind of narrative, it completely failed on that, because the narrative sections, the sitcom elements, would make you completely fall asleep, because it was just repetitive and boring to listen to. And it completely fails as a first-person shooter because the mechanics just don't work. The gameplay freezes every few seconds, the gunplay feels awful, yeah, it's just terrible in every single aspect that it tried to do. And I know some people are trying to argue, well, maybe it was intentional. I don't think you could even intentionally make a game that bad. Like, not without having serious skill, and if you have that level of skill, why not just make a good game? And I would have to say that even graphically, it was just unsettling to look at. Because I think someone pointed it out in one of the comments, they had clearly used some kind of motion capture for the cutscenes. but it all just looks so wrong and alien. Super Ferret, thank you for asking. For preferred pronouns, just he, him. But I appreciate you asking. Okay. But yeah, I don't want to rant on about the Alamo video for any longer than I need to. That game was atrocious. In some ways, I hope the video gets enough traction that someone at Valve actually sees it, and honestly, I think the best result would be for the game to be removed from the Steam store. I would have no problems with that. Alamo video reminded you about a chat VR sequence. I feel like there's a story there, Acor. Do I think Alamo was a crypto miner? No, I don't think it actually was. I think it was just incredibly poorly optimized. There was nothing else about it that suggested it was a crypto miner. I have been on the lookout for those kind of games. Don't think I've actually stumbled across one yet. Like, games that are just there for the achievements and nothing else. Yeah, we've had more than a handful of those. But an actual legit crypto miner, ooh, I don't think we've had one of those yet. You can bugger off with this nonsense. Also, I hope you guys don't mind. I do try to refrain from swearing in any of my videos or my streams. But I may slip up every now and then. Ooh, the sequences as a name. Yeah, I think that's interesting. Ooh, that was close. I might need someone to... damn it, took some damage. Might need someone to note down a couple of the suggestions so that we can put them up as a poll on the channel later. Because there have been some really good ones come through, and I'm worried that because I'm focusing on the gameplay, I've missed some. Okay, let's just keep a distance from as much of that as we can. So yeah, it's definitely towards the end levels here that Red Tether starts to become a little bit more of a bullet hell and a little bit more fast-paced. But again, you can still see puzzle aspects to it because it's forcing you to think about how you approach a given situation. Oh, that's bad. I think I'll just survive that. Minimum shield. Okay, Soupy Ferret's got some paper. Alright, everyone start giving them your suggestions for... I think we were looking for logos for the channel to be able to give it a little bit more of a visual identity. And we were looking for names for the community. What you guys would like to call yourselves. Very happy to leave that up to you. Oh, sorry. I think someone put a question there. What's the best bad game you've reviewed so far, in my opinion? Best bad game. So, still not good, but yeah, that's a tricky one. Best bad game. I think that might have to go to the Bunny Hop Simulator. Simply because it is not a good game, but I still recommended one of them. Simply because it's free, it has a lot of content in it, and if that's your thing, like, if you enjoy meme culture, if you are just looking for a platform to waste your time and you're on a really tight budget, you'll still have fun with that, honestly. I think that would have to be the best bad game. Yeah, I am also waiting for more games to be so bad they're good, but that's a very fine line to tread. And I think a lot of games just simply don't do that well. Also, yeah, sound design, very good. So listening to that slow down effect that it's applied to the music when you start getting to those extreme situations, how the music slows as you take damage, like, they've given a lot of detail to the sound design. Yes, the logo glows when I'm talking. I spent, admittedly, too much time figuring out how to do that last night. You're welcome. I'm glad it's brought some level of enjoyment. Alright, I think we can finish blowing this up. We've dealt with all the weapons now, so it should just be a matter of destroying the remaining asteroids and then we're good to go. That's actually good. We're doing pretty decent progress. You can just stay away from me with your nonsense. In fact, you know what? I'm going to blow you up because you've got a chance of dropping health when you die. And I've got no incentive at the moment to keep you alive, so you can just go away. Yeah. Oh, yes! I asked for it, and the universe has delivered. Extra health. Thank you very much. I will take that. So by that logic, if I just ask to be able to finish the game in this play session, maybe that'll happen? The songs are different for each boss fight, and I believe for each zone as well, so we'll have some new music shortly to be able to get through. Graelians. I kind of like the theme going for like the Holy Grail and going down that route because I'm a big RPG fan, love that genre of games. But, yeah, again, it's not my decision. It's up to you guys. Alright, last little asteroid here. I have to say, like, this mechanic of just tethering things together to watch them explode, it doesn't get old. It's just good fun. Right, we've done it. That is the third boss down. We're getting close to the real nonsense of this game now. My goodness. Yes! Emergency beacon. If I take damage, I've got a chance of spawning an upgrade. I will take that. Alright. And as soon as we jump in here, the music will chill out a little bit as well. Whew, let's breathe for a second. Potato! You have to go soon, not a problem. Thank you for stopping by. Honestly, I appreciate everyone that has just come by to check out what's going on stream. Looks like we might not be surviving for too much longer here, though. We are now into some real nonsense. So these guys with what looks like the spiky barrier around them, they will deal damage to the ship that will cause the next attack to be an instant, like, kill. So combining that with a stealth ship and these Gauss sniper rifles now, we're in for some nonsense. Plus, this ship is shielded. You can only hurt it on that one specific spot, the shield generator. So they definitely took a note from the Death Star in terms of ship design for this one. Not sure why I didn't realize that that's a terrible idea, but, you know, as long as it has a weakness, we can do something about that. Okay, let's focus on getting rid of these ones first, just because they're, ow, in the way. 2 hits from those and you're down. But thankfully, just gotta keep moving. Okay. Let's see if we can tear off a couple of these. You know what, let's just put an EMP on him. That's one thing I really do appreciate about this, is it does pretty much always give you exactly what you need to be able to deal with a given problem. How well you deal with it is completely up to you, and how distracted you are by trying to entertain an audience, but it gives you what you need. Because you can be clever here. Like, one thing that these rifles do is if you, not like that, actually hiding behind a ship, it won't fire because it doesn't want to hit one of its allies. So you can use that to find safe zones. Yeah, we're not into the final zone yet. This is the second last. I've made it past this before. It's challenging, but it's doable. Okay, let's tear that off. Beautiful. One down. You can say goodbye to your little turret there. But also, actually, I'm going to see if I can get this to do it on purpose. Can you guys just appreciate for a second the sound design of these bullets zipping past and the slow-mo effect that it imparts at the same time? That, again, is completely unnecessary for the game, but oh my god, is it so good. That slowdown, Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. So, you might be wondering, how the hell do we deal with these guys? Here's the answer. Tether on to this spot, and then you power through. And we're going to have to do that a few times. Playing MHR, the noises are throwing you off. Monster Hunter Rise? Is that MHR? Is that what you're playing? You have to let me know, Snowy. That little whoosh as they go past. Get enough speed here, they can't target you. Until you do stupid things and just crash into them like that anyway, but hey. Nice! Monster Hunter Rise, great game. Love the Monster Hunter series. Oh, this is bad. Move, 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 move. Also, I should say, Soupy Ferret? Not sure what naming convention you want to be. Do you want to be Soupy? Do you want to be Ferret? You've also got named Far at the end, but that doesn't seem to quite fit as well. I might call you Ferret, if that's cool with you. I just want to say thank you for volunteering yourself to take down some ideas for names. Monster Hunter 3 on the 3DS, well technically on the Wii, was the first one I played. I had it on the Wii, struggled to get into it, just kind of didn't click at first as to how the mechanics and the game worked. Later picked it up on the 3DS to give it another go, and I sunk hundreds of hours into it. Fantastic game. Monster Hunter Rise, I think, did a great job of making it a little bit more accessible. I'm still trying to find the time to get into Monster Hunter World, because I've heard wonderful things about it. Alright, that one's done there. Scug, what kinds of TOS breaking games are you talking about? Like, not safe for work stuff? Because that is just by default not going to be on the channel. Steam thankfully allows you to customize your surf preferences to exclude that kind of content. You guys could just get away from me. Thank you very much. I'm getting too close to you. Oh my goodness. Sorry guys, let me just concentrate here for a second so I don't immediately die. There is so much going on in these later levels with homing missiles and just area denial and things like that. But again, a little bit of planning, you can work your way around it. Never safe from Waluigi. Nothing is safe from Waluigi. Goodbye. There is something just satisfying about punting those harpoons straight back at those ships. Okay, let's grab that. And we'll grab... Actually, let's just keep ourselves moving. We'll grab it that way. Yeah, that works well. Dodged all that BS at the same time. Oh yeah, you're more than welcome to ask questions about the series or what's coming up next. Like, I have no problems asking those. Ooh. And I know that some people do have a few questions about just how the rules for the series work. And to be honest, the rules aren't set in stone either. They may flex and change as the series goes on, because we simply don't know what content is out there that we're going to be reviewing. That's the beauty of this. So there'll be a lot of chopping and changing as things come along. But at the end of the day, as long as we're not breaking TOS and we're producing some entertaining content, I'm here for it. There we go. You can just start moving over that way because I don't want to do... Oh. Okay, you to there. Thank you. Oh yeah, the series is... I wouldn't even call it a Herculean task. It is literally impossible for any one person to do it. But as I said, like, it's not about trying to actually accomplish it. It's about the journey itself and the discovery that we'll make as we go. Discoveries like this. Oh, that was a good shot. That should get ripped off. There we go. That ship is now no longer a threat other than it potentially just landing on top of me. So we just need to get rid of this one that's laying down all the mines. We'll be able to have a look at what's on this upgrade ship. But yeah, obviously for this series, we're not going to be reviewing anything that just outright breaks TOS. I would like my channel to be able to survive for at least 1 year without getting cancelled. That'd be nice. Okay. Just this one left to go. Oh, seriously? Right on top of me. That's why I hate these guys. But to be fair, if I were actually, keeping up a good momentum and moving around, that wouldn't have hit me. It was just because I stopped and stayed still. So it is my own fault. And that's what I kind of like about these kind of games. If I'm making mistakes, it's on me. It's not because the game is unfairly difficult. I call 67... I think according to the settings that I've been using when I've been searching on the Steam store, it's closer to just over 70,000 games. Completely impossible to play through. I did some maths and figured out that if I were to play continuously and give each game a maximum of 2 hours, it would take, I think it was around 40 to 50 years of continuous gameplay just to spend 2 hours on every single game on Steam. So that would be possible. You could stream that, potentially. Can you then make reviews on every single one? God, no. That just does not work. What have we got here? Tech scanner, 25% chance for health drops to be upgrades instead. 25% chance to remove tech cache. Could be good. Don't really need more debris, we've got enough of that. I don't need more max tethers. I'm actually full on health. Let's take the tech scanner. Wind! Thank you very much for the donation, that's very kind of you. It's asked what is... Let me just pause for a second there so you guys can hear a bit better as well. What's your favourite game outside of this series? Love the videos, by the way. Ooh, that is a tough question. Unfortunately, I spent a lot of time as a broke uni student, as one tends to do when you're attending a university, and I didn't have as much money to spend on games as I would have wanted, so I played a lot of free stuff, and I spent a lot of time playing the same games over and over and over. But thankfully, I did manage to kind of explore out and get into some of the other bits and pieces. I have to say that probably my favourite game, it really depends on the mood, what I'm in for. Currently, one of my favourite games has been Final Fantasy XIV, the MMORPG. I have sunk close to 2,000 hours into that game, and I absolutely adore it. I will argue till the cows come home that it has one of the best told narratives in a game ever. It is expertly done. It's just absolutely amazing. That game has made me cry at least 3 times. And that is a very difficult thing to do. I don't think I've ever even cried watching a movie, but that game made me cry 3 times. Final Fantasy XIV is amazing. Do I use an alternative Steam account for this series or just my main one? Honestly, it's my main one. Probably should have done an alternative one, but I've got nothing to hide. Nothing there that I worry about. Let's see. Even games I play most on you reach like 400 hours max. Yeah, Final Fantasy XIV sneaks up on you, but to be fair, I've played it over the course of about 5 or 6 years. Pino, go enjoy some food. Thank you very much for stopping by. I appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Well, it's not over yet. We still got a bit more to go, but I hope you enjoyed your time here. Graeldon, yes, I like Stardew Valley. I did put quite a bit of time into that game. I love that one. Good game to play with friends. Love that kind of like cruisy farm sense. If you like Stardew Valley, check out a little game on Steam called Dinkum. Very much in the same vibe. Think Stardew Valley meets Animal Crossing set in the Australian outback. It is a wonderful game that I think deserves a little bit more attention. Yeah, I've heard Haunted Chocolatier. That's by the same devs as Stardew Valley. I want to say, what's his name? Concerned Ape, I think it is. I'm looking forward to that one, and I'll probably check that out when it comes out. Yeah, Dinkum's fantastic. Make sure you take a look. Like, and I'm not recommending it just because I'm Australian. That's just coincidence. But it is actually just genuinely good fun to play. It's got a lot of great ideas, great art style, and the dev has put a lot of care and polish into it. Dinkum, yeah, just in the comment above, Dinkum. Available on Steam, still in early access, I think. The devs it's a solo project from memory, but there's a lot of love gone into that game. Alright, back to looking at the upgrades. Tossing up, let's hear your opinions, chat. I know you haven't played the game, but I think the best two here are either the heart plate to get an additional field heart container, give myself a little bit more durability, or I could go for the tech scanner, which is going to give me the potential for more upgrades at the offset of less health appearing. We're going to be coming up to a lot more fast-paced combat shortly, so I am concerned about the amount of damage you're going to take, but getting just more upgrades in general could be the right way to go. Yes, I am Australian. I know my accent may not 100% sound that way. I get mistaken for being a British a lot, but I am indeed Australian. Born and raised there, just don't live there anymore. If it's set in Australia, isn't it a hardcore game? You will fight against crocodiles. You will fight against cassowaries and sharks and jellyfish, but that's optional. It is very much a chill game. You can befriend dingoes. Dingoes are like the wolves in Minecraft. You can make them your friends. Is it too late for the tech scanner? It is not. Let's go for it. Let's take a little bit of a risk. I've been doing actually pretty well so far at avoiding damage. We're going to try it. This could be a mistake, but... Whoa, hang on, what happened there? Network vulnerability discovered. There we go, we've actually just unlocked potential for a new upgrade. I will take that. But yeah, even like with health, it is kind of too late in the game for that to really matter. If you start taking damage, you're basically just gonna die. And I think this run is probably gonna end in failure, simply because I've not been lucky enough to get a movement speed upgrade, which makes outrunning things like this very difficult. Also, again, please let me know if the sound is too loud, like the music. Yeah, this could be a mistake, but yeah, that's usually where things start to end. Okay, you need to go away, so do you, and we're just gonna outmaneuver these guys because they've got really bad turning speed. You absolute jerks. You there, stop it, go away. Join up to that one, why not? Actually, let's get you two joining up, so you hopefully destroy each other. Go away. Thankfully I've got the flare upgrade, so I can kind of deflect some of those missiles. Sound mixing seems on point, thank you, that's good to know. Appreciate it. Like I said, as first time jumping in and trying to do a stream, things like the sounds were definitely on my mind. Concerned about trying to get them right. Didn't want to have just absolutely awful audio. Alright. You're the one that's spawning all those extra ships, so there you go, have that one back. Love that. Those kind of moments are so satisfying. Okay. A couple more of those dogfighters coming in. Goodbye. Let's see if we can start taking off a little bit on the main ship up here. You can have that back, and you can have that back too. Let's just... dodged one of them. I'm glad to hear that it's come across quite well as a stream. I'm the kind of person that if I'm going to try and do something, I'm going to put some effort into it. I feel like it wouldn't have been right for all of you as my audience to... have the first stream just be like incredibly low effort and just be a disaster. Honestly, I wanted to make this as, like my channel, as much of a success as possible for you guys. And also, apologies, I do use guys as a gender neutral term. What is my favorite animal? That is a question which, funnily enough, I have had to answer more times than you might expect. My favorite animal is an otter. I love otters. They are just so cute, but they're also very intelligent creatures. One of the few animals that have learnt how to use tools. I think otters and like crows and ravens and things like that, they're pretty much the only ones. Let's bring all of that together. We've gotten rid of the main ship, not too much more to go on this wave. Favorite fish? Honestly, that was a little bit tougher. I don't think I really have a favorite fish. It's not even one of my favorite foods. But if I had to pick one as a favorite fish... Give me a second to think about that. Yes, I think the problem is I just don't know enough about them. This might be a dumb question. Sharks count as fish? They do, from my perspective. They live in the ocean. They swim. We're going to call them fish. In which case, I would go for a hammerhead shark, because I just love how derpy they are. Otters, corvids, dolphins, and apes. That makes sense. Ooh, and favorite color? Okay, this is where things get nasty. Despite the colors that I use on my channel, primarily being like dark purples and things like that, favorite color is actually green. There you go. There's the first little bits of lore for Graeldon. Okay, now we've got a different type of missiles coming out that they send out in greater quantity, and they will apply the ouch, the fragile debuff as well. So I've got to be careful here. This is going to get nasty. Yeah, axolotls technically not fish, amphibians. But I do like axolotls. They've got cute faces. Okay, we're going to grab that. We're going to grab... Okay, we're not going to grab that. We're going to try that again. The physics on the swings are sometimes just a little off. They don't quite pull you in a straight line. But it's manageable. Oh, that's bad. Get away from there. Let's give you that and some explosives. There you go. No, not that one. You can... Alright. Bugger off with that nonsense. Okay. Let's pull you guys together. Sorry, I'm not able to concentrate on the chat at the moment with all of this nonsense. So if you've got something important, a question that you want answered, you might have to ask it a couple of times in just a second. Ooh, hey Desert, nice to have you drop by. We are currently playing Red Tether. This is the next game in my video series that I'm doing, and honestly, quite enjoyable. It's got some really interesting mechanics, and I'm looking forward to being able to pull through, actually produce the video on this one, because I think there's a lot of interesting stuff to talk about. Alright, you two, get together. The core mechanics of tethering ships together just to watch them detonate and blow themselves up, it just does not get old. I know I've said it a few times, but it's such a creative way to approach ship-based combat that I don't think many other games have done before. Well, hang on, I've got to read this one. Soupy Ferret, thinking like for a channel banner or logo, maybe an otter wrapped around a grail. I like that. I'm wondering if we'd want to do something that speaks a little more to the series premise around the A to Z nature of the gameplay on it. The otter maybe could be used for the logo, like the profile pic, maybe rather than the banner. I'd be down for that. That could be adorable. Nice ideas. And like the gamer, yeah, I've seen gamer used quite a bit around as well, and I think that's got its place. Pastel saw the insanity of the series premise on the Alamo video and told everyone about it. I like that, yeah. I appreciate that. It's been really interesting seeing the rate of this channel's kind of growth and people's reactions to it as a series premise. It's honestly been a wild past 4 weeks, because the channel has basically gone from less than 1,000 subscribers to now I think we're just over 10k in such a short time frame. It still feels unreal to me. My original, I guess, it's not really even a goal, but my original hope for the channel was that I would be able to reach 1,000 subscribers. Actually, sorry, I was originally hoping to reach 100 subscribers by the end of the year, because I started this channel back in about the start of December last year. We very quickly blew past that, to my pleasant surprise, and so I set a secondary goal of, well, alright then, if I can make it to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, then that's going to be, like, that will absolutely make my year. That'll be the highlight. To have been able to get 10 times that number is absolutely insane to me. Yeah, 10.2 thousand, oh my goodness, it's still going up. Yeah, it's just wild. Just wild. I'm just honestly glad that people are enjoying the content. I honestly would have been making these videos one way or another, because I simply just wanted to do something creative. Because I don't, like I said before, I don't have that much artistic talent, so this is one of the few outlets that I can have, and it allows me to do something useful with my hobby as a gamer. Setting goals we must keep jinxing. Alright, you know what? If I make it to 100k, because I think it's just 100k where YouTube hands out the silver plaques, that's like a life goal for me. I'll know I've made it as a YouTuber if I get to that point. Get out of here with your nonsense. Here we go, this is what I like. Whole bunch of bombs right next to a big ship. You two can just have a fine and dandy day together, thank you very much. Am I a JoshStrifeHayes fan? I have been subscribed to his channel for like close to 3 years now, so I would say yes. I've watched almost every single one of his videos. He produces some fantastic content. I definitely look up to him as an inspiration for what I do. But I want to do things in my own way as well. I don't want to just be a JoshStrifeHayes imitation. Yeah, that's like the 3rd time Josh has come up on the stream, and I'm okay with that. More people should watch his stuff, he's good. But I've also taken a lot of inspiration from, oh, that's bad, other YouTubers like the Completionist. That was kind of what inspired me to make this a challenge, not just to do a first look at the games, but actually to try and beat them. So I think that does give just a little bit more depth to a review, because you know you've seen everything a game has to offer. Yes, that's why the game ratings are familiar, although Josh is actually not original in that idea. It was actually, I believe, and I could be mistaken on this, Pro Jared that first did the nonsense out of 10 game ratings. With I think one of the first ones being a rating for Chrono Trigger, which was a clock without hands out of 10. So yeah, I believe Pro Jared was one of, if not the first people to do it, but in itself it's not actually a completely original idea. Yeah, Gaz, I know Pro Jared's a little bit of a touchy topic. That was an interesting one, what happened there a couple of years back. He seems to be in a good place at the moment and kind of cleared his name, but I definitely understand there's still a little bit of contentiousness about him as a creator. I'm not going to go into my thoughts or opinions on that. I think it's enough to say that I don't really watch his channel anymore. Pax the Dreamer, thank you very much for the donation. Very kind. Really appreciate the support, honestly. And I want to say again, just in case there's people here that weren't here earlier, donations are very welcome, but don't feel like you ever have to. I'm never going to ask for donations. Everything will go towards just supporting the channel, being able to purchase future games, upgrades to equipment, etc. But thankfully I'm in a position where I don't need donations to survive. And to that note, I'm also very much in the same vein as JoshStrifeHayes, not planning on taking any sponsorships for the channel either. Not unless it's with really, really good reason. Yeah, JoshStrifeHayes focuses mostly on MMORPGs on his main channel. He's got a series called Worst MMO Ever, which is, again, I took a little bit of inspiration for the name and the thumbnail for the Arcane Rays video on that one. Just because it is attention grabbing, it works, but I am definitely not planning on doing a Worst JRPG Ever series. That's not a thing. However, if MMOs aren't your thing, he also has a second channel called JoshStrifePlays, where he does video essays on a lot of older retro games, which are also very interesting to watch. His latest one was actually on Chrono Trigger, I believe. It's like an hour and a half long or 2 hours long or something like that, but it's good. He's very analytical with the way that he looks into games, but also with a good sense of game design and humor to it as well. I got a lot of respect for what that guy does. I don't know how to pronounce your name. LJT Zoy? Litzjoy? Something like that. Yeah, the Completionist part, that was kind of what really spurred me on to do it this way. I think the series that I'm doing would not be the same if I were just doing, you know, like a 1 hour look at any particular game. I want to do a little bit more. There was a guy who made a 4 hour long Far Cry 3 video. Oh gosh. Wonder how many people actually watched the entirety of that. That's crazy. Yeah, never disrespect the power of impact font. I'm still finding my groove when it comes to the thumbnails that I create. I think with the latest ones, I'm onto something that seems to be working in terms of the way I want to brand my channel, but also get the right kind of attention from the audience. Would love to know your thoughts on it. If you look back through the channel, you'll see that I've tried a couple of different things. I've tried the ones with the yellow font. I've done the ones with the Steam reviews as kind of call-outs to build a bit of intrigue. Kind of leaning more towards just the simple white text. Comic Sans never. Comic Sans is an affront and it should not exist. There you go. That's my pure, unfiltered opinion. Let's see, I've already got Emergency Beacon. I don't think I need to go for that. Don't need extra heart. Ooh, hello. This could be interesting. Hacked cargo rail. Remember those Gorse rifles we saw earlier? This upgrade gets me one of those that just fires automatically every 30 seconds. What happens if a new game comes out that is in a previous section that I've already covered? Basically, at this stage, it's not going to be looked at. Too bad, so sad. It's in the past. It missed its opportunity. However, if the channel becomes large enough and I'm, for example, maybe able to find a full-time editor or something for the channel, I will look into doing a retrospective video that covers an older game, like a previously past game, to give them a fair view. Comic Sans is surprisingly good for dyslexia. You know what? I can believe that. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know enough to say that it's not. But I would also say that there's probably other fonts out there that are equally good for dyslexics. And therefore, that's still not a good enough reason for Comic Sans to exist. You're welcome to disagree with me, that's fine. It's just a font. No, I'm not doing things in Wingdings. Although that would be a great April Fool's joke. Oh, gotta remember that one for next year. Just put out new video, everything in it is Wingdings. Let's grab that debris. This has been working for me so far to keep me alive with the extra shielding. I'm glad I managed to get that one quite early. That's actually given me a lot of extra durability on this run. Probably been asked to death, do I have a prediction for what letter I'm going to get to?
Well, let's put it this way. No, the letter Z is never going to happen. Do I think I'll make it to the letter A? Yeah, I think I'll make it that far. I think I might make it, in my lifetime, maybe a quarter of the way through the alphabet. But probably not. Helvetica. That does sound interesting. I've not heard of that before. Oh, okay. Right. Instantly surrounded. That's fun. Let's get this nonsense out of here. There's the Gauss rifle coming in that I picked up. Love seeing that pass through and just obliterate enemies. You guys can all just combine there. I want to take out this Sapper class one that's laying down the mines as quickly as I can. Come on, you get in there. Join in the fun. Sorry, I'm missing a couple of things in chat. Explo, thanks for popping in to say hello. I am honoured to be your favourite small YouTuber. That actually means a lot. I honestly never thought I would be anybody's favourite small YouTuber when I started out this, so that does actually mean a lot to me. Yeah, I will probably have to mentor someone to take over this series in the future. It's one of the things where, like, I don't want the channel to die. It doesn't have to specifically be mine forever. But I think it would be pretty cool to have one channel that has documented basically everything on Steam. That would be absolutely wild. And I know that other like review companies like IGN, etc. get pretty close to doing that. But I'd be surprised if they have a review for this game. Would games that start with a number come before letters? Yes, they absolutely would. And that is what we're going to be getting into soon. Probably about another 10 to 15 weeks, and we'll be looking at some of the numbered games. And honestly, that's going to be a massive milestone for the channel. Like, how can you not like this kind of gameplay? It allows you to just cause some lovely carnage. Let's bring that in. These mines are still a problem, though. Hey, Gauss rifle for the win. Thank you very much. Okay. Another wave down. Where are we up to? I actually can't see what wave we're on because it's behind the chat. It looks like 38, 39? Which means we're getting close to another boss fight, which means this is about to get even more nonsensical. Look at the number of things that are coming after me here. That one got me. Let's start off by bringing these two together. You can go away. You need to lose that one. No more torpedoes, thank you very much. Nope. Okay. There is something satisfying about just being able to punt those back to where they came from. And no more torpedoes for you. Ah, but I am out of shots right as I walk into these guys. So, these are the ones I was talking about earlier. You cannot dodge their shots by moving normally. This is where I'm going to have to start actually using the movement mechanics to get out of their way. And they cannot be killed. At least, not with the current weapons I've got. Damn it. Took some damage there. And they just home and on... Yep. There we go. These little ones here, those you can knock out with your harpoons. Like that. Ooh, yes, got a couple of them. Good. Oh, come on, give me a oh, dear. Oh, this is going very, very bad. Very, very bad very quickly. Okay, we're still in it. We're not dead yet. Move, 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 move. Cool. Come on. Good. Actually managed to dodge that one. You're down. Ah, crap, hang close to those. Yeah, this might be where the run starts to go pretty south. I'm just not proficient at dealing with these guys yet. Clank, see you later. Thanks for coming by. And Acro as well. This stream's probably not going to be going for too much longer. Oh, we got rid of one of the big ships. Excellent. Let's just get out of the way of these guys. Am I any good at rhythm games? Yes. Or at least I like to think I am. One of my most played games as a teenager, just because I was the right generation for it, was Guitar Hero. Loved that game. Okay, that was a bit nonsensical. I should not have done that, but hey, content. Oh, come on, I just want to get the health. Is that so hard? Bloody hell. This is not good. We're on our last heart now. This is how quickly things can go downhill. I'm trying to get close enough to actually get that health. Yes! There we go. And with that, all of the other little flyers should disappear. Game is pretty, but it's kind of muddy. Yeah, I would appreciate if the art was just a little crisper. But it gets the job done. You can see what you need to see. Okay. You guys are alright. I can knock you out. He's got a long-range gun, and he's got a sniper rifle. Yep, what's going to happen? I don't think we're making it too much further. The range on that ship is just ridiculous, and with the missiles coming out as well, it's making it very difficult to actually get in and make any kind of progress. Yeah, if you've got color blindness, you're going to have a bad time with this game. Ooh. Come on. So close down there. Nah, there we go. Game over. That is it. That was a good try. I made it to wave 40. Not my best run. I think now you guys might have a bit of appreciation for why this game's been giving me grief. Whew. Alright. Let's end it there and we'll head back to a little hub where things are a little bit more chilled out. That was good fun though. That was good fun. And also I've enjoyed just having the opportunity to chat with all of you here. Yeah, it needs a little bit more contrast. I think this is the kind of game that I love stumbling across though, because the core concept, like the mechanics and everything in it, is actually really solid. It's a little rough around the edges. It needs some balancing tweaks done for sure. There needs to be a little bit more choice when it comes to the upgrades that you take, I feel. But with some polish, this game could actually be really, really good. And for people that are a fan of these kind of top-down space games, fans of games like FTL, Faster Than Light, that need, they require a bit of tactics, but also on-the-spot thinking, I think there's something here for you. Yeah, cliche, we're probably going to call it here. It has been 2.5 hours. I need to make sure that I actually get myself some food. I need to jump off stream and actually try and tackle this game where I can concentrate a little bit more and power through it. But I had fun, and I think hopefully all of you here have had fun as well. Enough so to the point that I'm personally feeling that we may need to look at doing this as a regular Saturday stream. Have something come out after the video. So publish a video, give everyone a chance to watch it, and then jump into a live stream. Could be fun. Oh, I just saw a donation pop through, and I think I've just missed it. I'll have to find that one later because it's not going to let me see it. Hang on. Let me jump into OBS. Can I see there? It was Gaz. Gaz with £5. Thank you very much. Again, really appreciate the donations. Thank you for enjoyed your time on the first stream. I will enjoy a drink tonight for sure. It'd be a nice way to relax and unwind. So yeah, I think I would love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to put some comments on the latest status on the channel if you enjoyed the stream and want to see more of them. I am happy to make these a regular thing. At the end of the day, this is all about trying to create content that you as an audience are going to enjoy. Fandom, thank you very much. Yeah, glad that you enjoyed the watch, even though it came a little bit late. Depending on how we go, we might look at trying to make future streams a little bit longer. I think it's really just going to depend on what games we're playing at the time, but stream duration 2 to 3 hours feels pretty good for me to be able to make sure that I'm still able to balance it with creating the reviews for all of you as well. Got to make sure I don't want this to replace the long form content. I think what I might do, everyone, is we're actually going to go just back to the hold screen here. And we're going to mute the game audio. Also, can I just say I love how the audio changes when in the pause menu. That is a nice little touch. And we're going to pop back on just some chill beats. And if anyone wants to hang out and chat, you're more than welcome to. I'm happy to just shoot the breeze for a little bit and chill and answer any questions that are on your mind. Kelly, absolutely fine. No need to donate. You simply being here means the world to me. I was honestly anticipating that we might get maybe 5 people come through to watch the stream, but knowing that there was actually close to 50 at one point is absolutely wild to me. I'm just glad everyone's having a good time and enjoying it. Kazma, appreciate to read all the comments and videos. Honestly, I try to. It's getting more and more difficult with the ones that are getting like well over 1,000 comments. Know that if you comment, I am reading it, but I might not have time to actually reply to it. But I appreciate every single comment that comes through, even the ones on the Member the Alamo video. Yeah, Anna, I'm not normally a stream person either. I think I've only watched a handful of other streamers in my time. I do normally prefer pre-recorded long-form content that I can kind of consume as I like, but I know that there's a lot of demand out there for this kind of live interactivity, and I enjoy doing this kind of stuff. It's actually something which I've done through work, is having to do like live audience entertainment in a way. So I kind of enjoy doing this kind of stuff and being able to chat with people. And if I have missed some of your messages in the chat, I do genuinely apologize. It has been a challenge for me just getting used to trying to monitor chat, as well as focus on a pretty tricky game at the same time. I'm going to play around with the setup, I think, a little bit to see if I can find a way to make it just a little bit more visible. I play on an ultra-wide, it's not even ultra-wide, it's just a real large screen, so I can do 4K. But having the chat in a corner sometimes makes it a little bit tricky to see, and I might miss a couple of things. Let's see, what else is here? Snowy, yeah, I think I have gained a little bit of confidence from this. I was worried that tech would fail, sound would fail, and I'd spend the first 15 minutes just trying to get the stream to work. But honestly, I think it's been relatively smooth, so I'm quite happy with how this one's gone. It's given me confidence to want to do this as a more regular routine thing. Yeah, after stream chat, we would have a little bit of time just to chill. I find that game, especially when I'm focusing fully on it, is quite intense. It gets the adrenaline pumping, like between the sound effects, the music, and the intensity of the gameplay. I was playing it late one night. Late is subjective, but for me it was late considering I had to be up early the next day. I was up to about 1 AM, and I could not get to sleep for about an hour because my body just needed time to calm down from all of that adrenaline. So it's not one that I can play too late at night. Might want to try setting up Steam Labs. Yeah, that is something that I was looking into. I didn't have time to get it set up and ready to go for today's stream, but I'll probably look into it for the next one, just so for when those donations things come through that I can get a little bit more visibility of them, because I think there was one that I nearly missed and I felt really bad about that. Cheating, yeah. Hard stance, bigotry's got no place in channel like this. This is meant to be a friendly, safe space for people to be able to share thoughts and opinions and ideas, and you can do that even on contentious topics without having to put other people down. And that's what really kind of gets me, is seeing some of those comments come through. It's like there was a couple in there that were completely uncalled for, so I'm doing my best to moderate it, but I am potentially going to be looking for official moderators to come on board to help out with things like the live chat, as well as comments on YouTube, things like that. So I'm not sure how to go about finding those kind of people, but I will definitely be on the lookout for them in the future. Kelly, just because you said that, I'm going to call attention to you again. Being responded to so many times was quite odd, in fact. I'm sorry. Like, I just enjoy chatting with all of you. And I think that's something which is quite nice. I'm going to enjoy being able to do it while I can, because I've seen what the chat looks like on larger channels where it flies by before you even get a chance to read what they've said. So having it being a little bit slower paced and give me the opportunity to actually interact and connect with you matters quite a lot to me. If/when you get to E, funny game to review is Everhood. I think I've heard of Everhood and have... No, am I thinking Everhood or Neverhood? Hang on, I'm going to have to look this up just for a second. I need to check to see what game it is, because that name rings a bell. Everhood. What is that one about? Oh, no, I have definitely not played that one. That looks wild. That looks like bullet hell combined with rhythm game. Interesting. This is why I like this series. So good this got to be the first stream game and not something like Draw a Card Simulator. Honestly, I had prepared a fallback just in case something else happened. Like, obviously I'd been playing this game already, so I knew it would be pretty interesting to have as a stream while we're chatting away. But I had also prepared a backup so that just in case by some miracle I managed to beat the game in the stream, I had planned to actually move on to the next one. Didn't manage to get there. Content for another time, I guess. One comment on the Alamo community post started with "as a race." Yeah, I think I saw that one, but yeah, there's some interesting stuff that comes out. It's interesting what people are willingly admitting on the internet. Snowy, thanks for stopping by. Enjoy the rest of your day. I appreciate it. Hopefully see you in the next one. Anna, makes me glad each time someone with enjoyable video content turns out to be a cool person who also respects the audience by trying to maintain safe space. Of course. I think, honestly, if you... How can I put this? I think it just comes back to the sheer fact that I came back... I came into this with the intention of it just being a hobby. It's just a hobby project, not something that I ever wanted to come into and do as a career. If people happen to enjoy my content, amazing. That was the best possible result I could ever ask for. And if people are enjoying my content and willingly wanting to support me, I should support them by creating a safe space for them. That's really all it comes down to. It surprises me that more people don't take that approach. It just seems logical. Yeah. Kelly, you say that like you would have seen the game before 2030. I think you're still presumably referring to Everhood. Yeah, it's going to be a long, long time before I ever get there, if I ever get there. But I think that's what's fun about this. Everhood is wildly difficult but has such a great and heartbreaking story. Just with the images I saw on that, I was not expecting it to have plot. But that just makes me even more intrigued. How long until I get to a game that costs $1,000? Haven't seen anything on the immediate radar, so we're good for a little while. Shouldn't be anything to worry there about. Cliche, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, hope to see you in the next stream. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hey, I haven't seen anything that costs an absurd amount coming up just yet, but I know those games do exist on Steam, and we'll figure out how to deal with them when we get there. Hey Grail, could you review the Hatred mass shooting mods? I'm gonna need a little bit more information about what you're referring to on that one before I can comment. Some people just in for the grind, no place actually. Yeah, there's a lot of YouTubers out there, and more power to them if they're able to kind of distance themselves from things like that. But I also feel like they're going to struggle to get anywhere without having other people do the community moderation for them. Because while their content can be enjoyable, if they're just simply not an approachable or interesting person that you can connect with, why would you want to care about what they do as a content creator? I think content creators sometimes underestimate the social impact that they can have through the things that they produce. Definitely a complex topic to get into. I definitely am not pointing fingers at anybody. I don't have anyone in mind when I'm talking about this, but I'm sure there's people out there in that frame of mind. When am I planning the Bible game? I'm not planning any games, Desert Beast. That's how this series works. I will play the Bible game when I get to the Bible game, and that is going to be an interesting one to review. I'm happy to say this. You may have picked it up from some of the responses that I've made to other comments on my videos. I am atheist / agnostic, somewhere in the realm of that. Definitely not religious. So reviewing the Bible is going to be interesting. Explo, can't wait for 39 Assassin's Creed reviews in a row. It is going to be the Assassin's Creed season, I think, when we get to that point. And that's where, again, when we get to something like that, where there's such a deluge of similar games, I will probably reach again out to the community to see how you would want this to be handled. Because I think doing one game per week from the same series for week after week after week after week is going to get old pretty quickly. I don't want this to turn into an Assassin's Creed channel. So when we get to that point, what I might do is alternate. Do one Assassin's Creed game and then jump past Assassin's Creed to review something else and then jump back. So every second week it becomes an Assassin's Creed game. And we do that for any series that is in that situation. There's going to be some odd challenges like that we've got to figure out how to handle them, but we'll deal with it when we get there. Any games I'm consciously looking forward to, or am I just along for the ride? Honestly, that's a tricky one to answer because all the stuff that's coming up soon, I actually don't know that much about. I'm probably mostly just along it for the ride. What excites me the most is finding the things that I wasn't expecting to enjoy. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what grabs our attention, and I'm hoping to be able to draw some attention to the devs of the games that actually deserve it. It's already been nice seeing the responses to some of the other smaller games we've looked at, like Square, like Aki Robots, and a couple of others, where people have gone and actually purchased those games and play them to support those creators. That is like the one thing which I want this channel to have the power to do. I want it to have the power to support overlooked creators making good content. I think that would be an incredibly powerful thing to be able to do as a platform. If you do get to the Bible on Steam, you will read the entire thing. I will have to, in the name of completing the content. Probably won't... Well, actually, would that be interesting to stream? Streaming the Bible. I think I might not attract the audience that I'm after when I get to that one. Yeah, crisscross is optional. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the way to go. Just to alternate the games when we get to those sections, just to make sure that the content on the channel stays fresh and doesn't get stale too quickly. What's on the line as a AAA game does get tricky, and that's why I'm not ruling out reviewing AAA games. I think they still have a place in this channel, especially because, let's face it, by the time I get to a AAA game, it's probably been out for a few years. And then it becomes more of a review, not of, oh, hey, this is current gaming content, what's it like, should you buy it? But it becomes more of a, is this still good? How does this hold up in today's gaming landscape? And I think there's something interesting to dive into there. Let's see. Oh, yes, glad you picked up Reflected. I really enjoyed that game. Short, sweet, great mechanics. That was actually really good fun, and I'm glad I stumbled into that. Dot Hack games are ones that I am looking forward to being able to review. They look substantial. They look like they've got some quality. I believe there is kind of a... what's the word for it? Not necessarily like a cult following for it, but they've got a fan base. They've got a fan base. So I think it's going to be interesting to see if those videos attract any particular attention and draw a few more people to the channel. It might, but I'm honestly just looking forward to playing what looks like a solid JRPG. Yeah, could get tangled eventually, Explode. Assassin's Creed 1 week, Call of Duty the next, and just bounce back and forth between those for a couple of months. Could happen, but thankfully with the number of games on there, I don't think we're going to get to that point. Oh, Sully, thank you for the donation. Appreciate that. What personal rules do I have to this project? So, I set them out in the very first video, but they have flexed and changed slightly from there. Basically, there will be no 18 plus games, no adult games featured on here, simply because it's not suitable for the channel or for the content. Going to be skipping over VR games because there's already enough other channels out there that review those styles of games, and we're also going to be skipping over MMORPGs because A, they take too long to complete, and B, JoshStrifeHayes, an absolutely amazing content creator, already is doing a series where he's reviewing pretty much every MMORPG in existence. So those are going to be ruled out. I think pretty much everything else is fair game for us to be able to look at in this series. Will I rate the Bible based on narrative merit? Let me think about that for a second. Probably yes. Narrative consistency, how many plot points it starts and then just never revisits, how many plot holes there are. It's approachability as a story. I think there could be some interesting things to look into when we get to that one. However, I've got a feeling I'm probably not going to be the first person to attempt to do a Bible stream. In fact, I saw this the other day. Do not ask me how I stumbled across it, because even I don't remember. But I'm pretty sure there is a YouTube video of someone speed running the Steam version of the Bible. That is a legit thing. Because it has, I believe, like multiple choice questions and things that you need to answer to be able to progress through. So I believe there is a speed run of the Bible. Maybe we'll have to set a challenge, see how we do with that. I'm definitely not a speed runner. Sander, yeah, apologies, have missed the stream. We did a run of the next game we'll be reviewing, Red Tether. Just taking a little bit of time to chat and wind down at the end now, before we call it an end. But we will hopefully be looking at doing another one in the future. Oh, sorry, Anna, just saw if you're still here. Bye. If not, sorry, bye. Bible plot holes, yeah, exactly. Will I have guests for any co-op games that pop up, or I tend to beat them with 2 controllers in each hand? You know what? I'm tempted. Honestly, I will probably be reaching out to some people for the co-op games. And that is one thing that I had in mind about having as a potential perk for the channel for paid membership. So I was talking about this earlier in the stream. I'm thinking of doing membership in tiers. I need to look into the advantages between doing Patreon or YouTube. I think there's kind of merits to both systems on there. And my initial thoughts are that for like an entry level monthly donation, as little as probably $1, I will do something similar to JoshStrifeHayes and have just a list of supporters of the channel that appears at the end of each video. But then I'm also considering having a higher level tier that will allow you to potentially have an unnamed character named after you that appears in a review. The issue with that is consistency. I could go for literally months without having an opportunity to utilize that. So I guess that's kind of just the risk that would go with it. And then potentially another tier above that gives you the opportunity to join in for a co-op or a multiplayer game. Something like Among Us in the future. I think it would be pretty cool to have a lobby of people who are fans of the channel. So those are just my initial thoughts. It's something that I'm going to put to all of you as the community to vote on and see what appeals to you and what kind of perks that you want. And if you turn around and say, no, don't want any perks, that's absolutely fine as well. At the end of the day, it's just an opportunity for me to find a way for all of you to be more involved with the actual videos and the process that goes into them. I don't want to have anything in place that locks my content away from viewers. That's what I don't want to do. Sorry, that was probably a bit of a more long-winded answer than you're expecting to that question, but that's me. I have a tendency to go off on tangents and rants. Expo, you've got some good questions coming through here. You scrolled ahead a little bit, saw there's 100 hidden games. Yes, there are, and some of them have direct sequels as well, as you mentioned. So more than likely, I will be grouping all of those together as one video. Simply because, again, it'd be ridiculous to have one each. I doubt those games have more than 30 to 60 minutes of content in a single game. So they're probably all going to get grouped together just for one. RT Game did a stream doing the Bible stream. I had a feeling someone quite big had done that. I can't wait for the Samson saga. I also have to scroll through the whole thing. You absolutely do. To give the Bible credit, the devs released the thing with an expansion for the same price instead of charging per book. Huh. Neat. Who knew? They could actually do something nice. If you no-click through the wood of the cross, you can skip the 3-day... Oh, that's fantastic. I love that. So, yeah, when you get to that stage for Jesus' resurrection, and he's locked away and you have to wait 3 days, it would be absolutely hilarious if they put in, like, just a wait timer for 72 hours before you could progress to the next part of the story, because you have to feel what it's like to wait out the reincarnation. Amazing. Sorry, still trying to catch up on your comments here. Let's see. Yeah, I know I kind of don't want Larry to disappear, and honestly, there's a chance that people might not go for that higher level of membership anyway. So in those events, Larry would still come through. Simply name whatever you're currently playing as the Patreon. Okay, yeah, I can see that. I just want to find a way to be able to kind of, include the community a little bit more with what's going on. Oh, and Anna did pop back in again, so hi and bye again. Maybe a Patreon with Discord server access as a tier allows easy access to a community without the worry of people coming in and wrecking it without having an admission fee. Not a bad idea. I'm also absolutely fine, I think, with the Discord being open for all. I think as long as we've got the right level of moderation in place and the right permissions and roles set in, then I don't really foresee any problems there, but I could be a little bit naive about that. I've never set up a proper Discord server before. Soupy Ferret named 5 would join, but my social anxiety is too high to probably be in a video, even if you had a chance. Soupy Ferret, let me put it this way. If you had spoken to me 10 years ago and told me that I would be producing videos and live streaming in front of audiences, I would have laughed at you. I am an incredibly introverted person, and doing this kind of stuff sends my anxiety through the roof, but I do it because I know people love it, and because I do it because I want to do things for the community. I am very much of the opinion that you need to put yourself out there in ways that do make you uncomfortable in order to make the uncomfortable things become comfortable. And look, for some people, it might not become comfortable, and that's absolutely fine. You don't have to be able to do absolutely everything. It's good to know where your limits and your boundaries are. But I think there is sense in pushing yourself a little bit further. If I hadn't, I wouldn't be here doing this today. And I'll tell you now, I don't regret it. Absolutely not. John Smith renaming a character. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. So in the review, rather than having Larry pop up, it'll be named after one of you. Although, John Smith, you're going to need to work on a better name. I think it wouldn't make for a particularly entertaining or spot in the video. Be like, oh yes, and he's the character John Smith. Need a little more creativity. But of course, if we do the naming as a supported tier, it would only be on the condition that your username is appropriate for the content. Otherwise, we run the risk of people doing joke names come through. And look, you know what? If someone makes one and they subscribe and their username is fart, sure, whatever, I can do that. But not going to be doing anything offensive. We're up to Binding of Isaac is closer by. Well, yeah, I haven't played Binding of Isaac before, but it's one that I've always looked at with curiosity. I want to get into that, and I think that could be quite fun. Looking forward to when you reach drunken robot pornography. I have many questions, but I don't think I'm going to ask them here. Loved Bug Fables 2. Haven't heard of that one either. One time I tried to organise a Bible study so I could understand the Isaac lore better. I have heard people actually needing to dive into the actual Bible to understand some of the references in Binding of Isaac. Apparently there is a lot of hidden lore in those games. In fact, I seem to recall that... what's the channel name? This is going to annoy me now. Not the Completionist. Nope, that's gone for me. The guy who... the Game Theorist channel. Game Theory. They went into Binding of Isaac and did a few lore dives into that game series, I think. That was some interesting stuff to watch. Getting to see for Crosscode. Heard good things about that. Haven't played any of them. Discords generally have some react to get a member role stuff. Yeah, that's kind of what I would envision. Join up to the Discord server, use something like that to assign roles and go from there. Always nice to see a fellow introvert. I know there's a lot of us out there. Gaming tends to attract a lot of introverts. I'm very happy to say I'm one of them. An underrated YouTuber who used his videos to become better at socialness and public speaking is Super Great Friend. So charismatic now. I'll try and remember that one to check them out after this. What kind of content do they do? Is it particularly around gaming or any particular topic or just public speaking tips and tricks? Aculitus, thanks for stopping by. Hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, or if you're heading off to have a nap or a sleep, hope you have some wonderful dreams. Gaz, courage isn't not being scared, it's being scared and doing it anyway. Absolutely, that's 100% my thoughts on it. And I think one of the biggest roadblocks to people being able to overcome that is the ability to admit that they're scared in the first place. Because if you can't admit that, you can't identify it as a challenge to overcome. If you do get to Isaac, do not expect to beat the game. It takes hundreds of hours. Yeah, I've heard it's quite a challenging one, probably similar to what I was playing today, in that it is a roguelike. But as far as I'm aware, just reaching the end itself isn't too challenging. It's doable, but to see every ending, beat every boss, because there's a lot of different routes you can take, I believe, or something like that, that a full completion could take quite a long time. However, my aim is not to 100% complete games, it's just to finish them. Reaching the ending is enough. Bug Fables is good. It's Paper Mario-esque RPG. Love the Paper Mario games. If it's anything like that, then, and I'm not sure if you're referring to like graphically or mechanically or anything like that, quite what you mean, but yeah, at the end of the day, either or is good. I love the art style of the Paper Mario games, and I love the mechanics and the RPG integration that they've had with it. And speaking of, saw the announcement recently that they're doing a complete remake / remaster, whatever you want to call it, of, I think it was the Super Mario RPG, and I am here for that. I'll definitely be picking that one up. Another question: when you play games like Isaac, where the game is basically just the next update and not really a new title, will you play each of them in order as well, or just the newest edition? In general, if it's a separate listing on Steam and the content is different enough, it will be getting a separate review. I think the only exception we've had to that so far was the Mischief Dungeon Life visual novels, where I had to do a little bit of research and I discovered that while it had multiple listings in Steam, it was one main listing, and then the separate listings were individual stories from the main game that had been separated out. I thought at first maybe they were DLC, and it was additional content that I would have to go through, but no, it's actually just the story from the game removed and sold separately. I think that is pretty scummy to be able to try and sell your content in that way. That was very surprising to see. SGF. Hang on. I've already lost the name on there. I've got to go back up. Where was it? The chat's gone past it now. Oh, Super Great Friends. That's SGF. Yeah, Super Great Friend. As it does Let's Plays. He's currently playing all the Alone in the Dark games. Interesting. Okay. JoshStrifeHayes, can't wait for Amazing Cultivation Simulator to come up. I know absolutely nothing about that game. You might need to enlighten me. Pun intended from the sound of it. If I get to Isaac, win condition would be beating Mum. Yeah, I think so from my understanding of the game. Soupy ferret. Gotta stop your ferret from eating Velcro. Please don't let your ferret eat Velcro. I don't know a lot about ferrets, but I am 99% sure that Velcro is not meant to be in their diet. A Hat in Time. I actually have purchased Hat in Time. I have played about the first hour of it, and then I can't remember why, but I stopped. And I feel like I really, really shouldn't have. Everyone speaks really positively about A Hat in Time. I think I simply got distracted with other games at the time. I had a lot going on. So that's one that's always been on my backlog of games to get back to. So I'm looking forward to that one, actually. Someone asked earlier what games they're looking for. There we go. There's your answer. Hat in Time. Getting someone scratching the surface, yeah. Is the included when sorting alphabetically in Steam? Off the top of my head, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure Steam skips over that and sorts them by whatever the next word is. I could be wrong, but I also can't be bothered to look at the moment, sorry. Again, that's only going to be an issue for the channel if we ever get that far, and given that's over halfway through the alphabet, it's pretty unlikely. Not unless something major changes in terms of how this channel operates. One science YouTuber beat a run of Isaac in the background while talking about the history of string theory. What? Vid was less than an hour, but she was skilled. Holy cow. You know, every now and then, there's something that I read or I come across that just punches me in the gut and makes me realize that although I think that I'm decent at games, I'm really not. Not compared to that. Oh dear, that is truly impressive. Fandom person, obsessed in Hat in Time for a solid year. It's so good, yeah. And the thing about Hat in Time that I have heard is that the soundtrack is stellar. Honestly, there's a handful of games that I enjoy playing simply because they've got good music. And I've mentioned it earlier, Final Fantasy XIV is one of those games that I keep coming back to because the variety and quality of music in that game is just outstanding. He's not supposed to eat, he's just taken away, yeah. Cheeky ferret. Hat in Time has Psychonauts references. Interesting. Although I did include a Psychonauts reference in a previous video, I think it was in Valor Verstand, I haven't actually played much of that game. That's another one that's been done for this one. Now I just need to actually beat the damn game. So I'm going to be jumping off stream and continuing to play through that one for, well, until I finish it. Hopefully we get through it for the rest over the course of the day. Aiko came back just in time to say goodbye. I'm glad you've all enjoyed it. Again, leave some comments on the channel with the latest status update if you want to see more. If we get enough positive response, I'm very happy to start introducing this as a weekly thing. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your days, no matter what time of day it is in the world you're on. Thank you very much for stopping by, and I will see you in the next video.